Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, August 18th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $sign ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is the rubber match. We're trying to lose not another game. Obviously, it's been 5 in a row for the Mariners on this losing streak. And then we got a 3-game set with the Dodgers in LA. So we don't want to get swept by the Tigers, swept by the Pirates, and swept by the Dodgers, especially if we're trying to catch up to the Houston Astros. This is a must-win game today. And I believe that the Mariners will win today. We're going to get it done. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Sunday morning and early afternoon, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, we got our guy, George Kirby. And on the right, one of their best players on Pittsburgh, DHing today, Bryan Reynolds. Now let's get into the starting lineup here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in center field, Victor Robles. Batting second, DHing this morning, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need you, baby. Batting third, catching today for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Trident's up. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, playing left field today for Randy Arozarena, Luke Raley. Batting fifth, playing second base, it's Polo Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, playing first base, it's JT Justin Turner. Batting seventh, playing right field, Dominic Canzone. Batting eighth, playing third base, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for the Mariners, Leo Rivas. And on the mound for the Mariners with an 8-9 record, ERA of 3.42, one of our top 3 aces with Logan Gilbert and Brian Wu, it is George Kirby. And we're going to need a very good performance out of you, George, today. I know when you went against Scooball twice, it wasn't pretty. But again, at least you're not going against schemes. You know, we already saw what happened with that particular matchup. And hopefully George Kirby can be wheeling and dealing today. Let's go, George. Now let's get into the starting lineups here for the home Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off for the Pirates, the former Yankee second baseman today, Isaiah Falefa. Batting second, DHing today, Bryan Reynolds. Batting third, playing shortstop, O'Neal Cruz. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for Pittsburgh, Joey Bart. Batting fifth, playing first base, Rowdy Tellez. Batting sixth, the former Marlin left fielder, Brian De La Cruz. Brian Hayes, you have the day off. Batting seventh, playing center field, Michael Taylor. Batting eighth, playing right field, G. Juan Hey. And batting ninth, playing third base, Jared Triolo. And on the mound for the Pirates with an 0-4 record, an ERA of 5.87, it is Jake Woodford. I mean, if the Mariners can't win against a pitcher that doesn't have a win, then I guess we don't deserve to get the dub. But again, we got swept by the Tigers, which was definitely unfortunate. We're on the brink of getting swept by the Pirates, but I do believe that we are going to win this morning. And then we got a 3-game set against the Dodgers. Then we go and play the Giants, and it's not going to get any easier after that. Then we got the Tampa Bay Rays, and I believe the Los Angeles Angels. And even though the Giants, the Rays, and Angels, aren't really like necessarily great teams, either around 500 or below 500, the way the Mariners have been playing as of late, it doesn't really feel like we can beat anybody. We need to make sure that the pitching is good, the bullpen is good, and the bats come alive here this morning. We have to prevent this sweep because, again, it's a realistic possibility we might end up getting swept by the Dodgers. We got 3 games, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all in LA. And as anyone knows, if you watch the Dodgers, right, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Teoscar Hernandez, there's not a better 4 to start off on a team in the box than those 4. So, again, we're going to have to make sure that we bring it. The Dodgers are beatable, but again, the way that we've been playing, if we can't get over 4 runs, it's going to be a long, long series. But as far as today, we got to get the job done. We got to buckle down, and we got to be able to win this game. Let's go, baby. And again, we'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. And then again, we're going to be shooting for 100 on the donos on every single stream. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Addiction, depression, anxiety. These are things that I've gone through, and I know some of y'all are going through it now or have in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping into the darkness a little bit, make some adjustments to your daily routine to get back on track. If you're not exercising, exercise. If you're not eating healthy and eating too much fast food, cut back. And then also make sure you're listening to at least 30 minutes of music, spend time with friends, family, and your pets. You do these basic 3 things, and you'll get back on track sooner than later, and you can end up winning the day. All right, baby, here we go. Seattle Mariners, Pittsburgh Pirates, game number 3, the rubber match. And if you are tuning in, obviously, to this particular series, on the first game, we lost 5-3 with Skeens on the mound, and that didn't really surprise too many. I think that we felt that that was probably going to be a loss. Yesterday, we ended up getting our ass kicked 7-2 in a game that was, felt like it was winnable, but we didn't come to play, and the bats did not come alive. And here is game number 3 in the rubber match, and we're really going to be heavily relying on George Kirby, and really the only starter that is normally in the lineup that isn't in the lineup today is Randy Arozarena. And normally, this would make me upset. But again, I feel that, he does deserve a day off. The bat hasn't really been that hot from him in the last couple days. And Luke Raley, obviously, is someone that we want to play with Justin Turner. Usually one is DH, the other is a first baseman. But for today, Luke Raley gets to play left field. JT is at first, and obviously we still got Julio at DH until that high ankle sprain is healed. Let's go, baby. I am ready. Let's get it, baby. All right, here we go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. And we are getting closer to the next goal of 20,400. I believe we only need, 14 subs to be able to hit that number. So we're definitely getting there. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We need 2 more to get to 10. And if we can get to 10 within the first 30 minutes, that would be great. And then 20 in the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. All right, here we go. Bunt attempt right out of the gates. Throw to first, and he is out. But I do like them going for bunts, in the matchup. Hopefully we get 2 to 4 bunts within the game, and that is something that I felt that has been lacking. If Victor would have placed that down the third baseline, I think he would have been safe. Anytime you do it right in front of the pitcher or towards first base, it's kind of a 50-50 shot there, but hopefully Victor can get off to a good start here for the Mariners. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Pitch right down the middle to Julio. Behind in the count, 0-1. And ever since his debut at DH, where he started off 0-5, he's gotten at least one hit in every game since then at the DH position as we wait for those legs to heal and that high ankle sprain to be 100%. Top of the first, 0-0, Mariners and Pirates. One out, Victor Robles bunting, could not get to first. And now behind in the count by Woodford, 0-2 pitch. Pitch is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to my guy, J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, baby. We need that bat to come alive. Let's go, Julio. One-two pitch. Little chopper. Throw to first. Safe, baby. There we go. Julio, not even 100% with those legs, and to be able to run that out. There we go. Hell yeah. Good start. Nice job. Now let's see if we can actually bring him home. And it seems like his leg right now is probably about 80%. But to be able to run that out, I'll take it. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Top of the first, 0-0 Mariners and Pirates. Runner at first with 1 out. Next up is big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch is inside, 1-0 count, 1 ball and no strikes. Let's go, Cal. And we could really use a home run today. Trident's up. You're due. 1-0 pitch. That one chopped foul. Towards first base, 1 ball and 1 strike. Singles, doubles, RBIs, home runs. We need you, Cal. Let's go. Bring that electricity to the lineup. And hopefully he'll end up going yard today, and he's one of the only players on the team that can go yard from both sides of the plate, as well as Jorge Polanco. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. That one is slicing foul. Come on, baby. Someone's got to be that spark plug here for the Mariners. Five-game losing streak's got to end today. 2-2 pitch. Cal? Uh-oh, it's going back. It's got the distance. Go! Yes, let's go. Let's go. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. You talk about a home run. You talk about Trident's up. You talk about you're due for a home run. And there you go. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. I'd say bring the electricity. My ESP is strong. Let's go. 2-0 Mariners. Bang! That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. Hell yeah. We needed that. And sometimes I'll get this kind of feeling when guys are due for a home run, especially when they have the talent to be able to get it. And that's exactly what we needed to get off to a good start. I told y'all we were going to win the game today. We got a 3-game set against the Dodgers on the road in LA. We can't afford to be able to get swept by the Tigers, swept by the Pirates, and then swept by the Dodgers. We need to try to keep it close with the Astros. If we're not going to win the division of the AL West, we at least want to make the playoffs and be a wild card team. And it's probably going to be between us and the Boston Red Sox. So we need to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to get it done. And I'll tell you what, Seattle's best player, arguably right now, the MVP in 2024, big dumper Cal Raleigh doing his fucking part. Let's go. Next up, Batting cleanup. Left fielder, Luke Raley. Let's go, baby. Some people call him Nuke Raley. All right, some people call him Rails. Whatever nickname that you got for him. Luke Nukem. We need to get it done. Come on, Luke. And you're playing in left field for Randy Arasarina, so make sure that you're making the most of this opportunity. Let's go. Hell yeah. 2-0 Mariners with the early 2-run blast by Cal Raleigh, big dumper. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is inside at the knees to Luke Raley. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's go, Luke. One thing I like about Luke is he's always bringing that intensity, and he's always giving maximum effort on every play, even running to first. Full count by Woodford. 3-2 pitch to Luke Raley. There we go, Luke. Go, go, go. Run it out. Yes. There we go. Hell yeah. And that effort by Julio running that little dribbler, ended up getting us a 2-0 lead after Cal knocked him home. And then Luke Raley with just a little dribbler running hard, giving you that effort and beating the throw out to first. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Yes. Next up, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Top of the first, 2-0 Mariners. I mean, again, if we ended up losing this matchup and getting swept by the Tigers and swept by the Pirates, losing to Skeens is no big deal. He's one of the best pitchers, in the game, top 3. Obviously, the best righty, and then the best 2 right now are Sale, who's a lefty, as well as Skubal, to me, is a lefty who's the best. So again, but last night or yesterday morning, we didn't definitely bring the bats and the energy, and we normally are not a very good morning team. But I'm glad that Cal ended up capitalizing early. I felt that he was going to homer today. He did. And now we have a nice 2-0 lead to set the tone. The magic number for the Mariners will be 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And we're already halfway there with the runs with a 2-run blast by Big Dumper. Top of the first, 2-0, runner at first with 1 out, 1-1 count from Woodford to Jorge. Jorge chops that one, fading foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's go, Polo. 1-2 pitch, throw to first, safe. Trying to keep Luke Raley honest there. One-two pitch from Woodford to Polo. And right down the middle, takes a strike 3. 2 down. Nice job by Woodford. We'll give him some love. Nice job, Jake. 0-4 record, ERA of 5.87. But again, the Mariners are always going to be prone for like 10 to 15 strikeouts a game, even if we go against a pitcher that doesn't even have a win yet. Next up for the Mariners, Justin Turner. There we go, little blooper right in front of the center fielder. There we go, the bats are coming alive here today, which they should. Again, we can't just continue to not hit every single game. There we go, nice job, JT. We need you, we need the vibes, we need the good energy, and you might be one of the oldest starters in Major League Baseball at 39. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Age is just a number, and you still play very well at first base and DH. Nice job. Red turn, JT. Next up, right fielder, Dominic Canzone. This is another individual that is due for a home run or a big RBI. He ended up making a diving attempt on a catch that ended up backfiring, that hit his mitt, hit his head on his birthday, and we ended up losing that game against Skeens. So this will be a good day to have a little bit of redemption, to get a good couple hits or an RBI or home run opportunity to kind of make up for that shitty birthday that he ended up having a couple days ago. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Dirty Dom. Let's do it. Top of the first, 2-0 Mariners. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. In the box is Dominic Canzone. 1-1 pitch. Dom pops it up. And that one is fading foul. One-two pitch from Woodford to Dom. Wild pitch. There we go. Runners advance. Hell yeah. There we go. We like that. Let's get it, baby. Now we got guys at second and third. Joey Bart could not control the wild pitch from Woodford. Turner to second. Rayleigh to third. Let's go. 2-2 pitch. Dom crushes that one. Foul. Count remains 2-2. Let's go, Dom. Two-two pitch. Dribbler right to the pitcher. Throw to first. And that is the end of the inning. We leave two stranded, but the damage is done. And again, sometimes, when you watch a team as often as I do, and you're watching all 162 regular season games from beginning to end, you can kind of tell with your roster who might be due for a home run. And, sometimes it's going to be a guess or speculation, but it kind of felt that in this particular road trip that Cal was going to homer, and we needed it desperately. Way to bring that energy, way to bring that thunder and lightning to the lineup, and we're up 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. Let's go. Nice job, Cal. And again, it kind of felt like it was just a matter of time. And normally Cal will homer later in the game, typically in the seventh inning and beyond. He's our best clutch hitter, but every once in a while he will get a home run in innings 1 through 6. And we ended up getting one in inning number 1, and that one feels damn good after being on a 5-game losing streak. All right, let's see who's up here next for the Pirates. And on the mound for the Mariners, 8-9 record, ERA of 3.42. George Kirby. Let's go, baby. And we're going to need a good, solid performance. Last couple outings, he had to go against, Tarek Skubal, the best pitcher in baseball from the Tigers. Didn't win either start. Tried to do his best. But again, you're going to need run support when you're going to be playing against a guy like that. And when Sku is on the mound, it's almost impossible to get anything on him. So we'll see if George can get back on track here today against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off for the Pirates at second base, the former Yankee, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Batting second, DHing for the Pirates, leading in most of the statistical categories of like batting average, RBIs, and home runs and hits, Brian Reynolds. And batting third, shortstop, O'Neal Cruz. But if you're looking at a lot of the statistics with like home runs, batting average, hits, RBIs, Brian is usually at the top. One of the more underrated players, here on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Reflect in the building. What's good? How are you? Great start for us. And again, I had a feeling at the beginning of the broadcast that I mentioned that Cal would homer today. And lo and behold, about 10 seconds later, what do you know? He homers, and we get a nice 2-0 lead. But we have to give credit to Julio Rodriguez running hard to first on a little blooper, as well as Luke Rayleigh. Luke didn't end up scoring, but just the simple fact that Julio hustled with that high ankle sprain, which it looks like his legs and his high ankle is only 80%, to get that extra guy on base for Cal to hit not a solo jack, but a 2-run jack is so important, especially when we have a hard time getting past that 4-run number lately. So 1 to 3 runs has kind of been the MO, and we've been losing every game since we've been doing that. We only have like 4 wins and 40-plus losses when we score 1 to 3. So getting to 4 and above is definitely a priority here today. Bottom of the first, 2-0 Mariners. 1-2 pitch. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa popped up. Everyone charging for it, and it hits the steps into the Mariner dugout. Foul. But I like the lineup today. I thought the lineup looked good. And, normally I'll message, someone like Reflect or Justin, and I'll send them the lineup every day or how I feel about it or if I think we're going to win. And I went into this morning looking at the lineup. I thought, you know what? And it's not just because the other pitcher is 0-4. Yes, that does help, But again, it just felt like our backs are against the wall. We're on a 5-game losing streak. We're going to be playing the Dodgers on the road. 3 games where we could get swept in that series. This is a must-win game. And again, no Randy Arozarena in left field, but we got Luke Raley. And I think Luke will get a couple hits, and he's already gotten 1 today. So Randy has been a little cold as of late, and I do like Victor Robles going for a bunt at the first at-bat. So everything that I normally want in a game has actually happened so far. Popped up into right field. Dominic Canzone is there. And I need Dom to be able to get an RBI, a home run, or a big hit today. We need to make up for his birthday. When we went against Skeens and he ended up diving for that ball and missing and hit his mitt, hit his head, and we ended up losing the game. I want Dom to have a good birthday, and obviously when that happened, it ruined his birthday a little bit. So I'm hoping that he can kind of make up for it here today and end up having the birthday that he deserved. Instead of kind of losing the game for the team, he can end up maybe having a little bit of redemption. Pitches outside to Brian Reynolds, 1-0 count. Let's go. Oh, man, the Raleigh homer was awesome. But again, started off with the first pitch with the bunt attempt, but he kind of bunted it towards first, and there wasn't enough room for him to get there. Maybe Robles should have went towards third or the pitcher a little bit more. But I like the bunt attempt. That's exactly what I like to see, especially if you're struggling a little bit, even though Victor really isn't. But it's just kind of a nice thing to see early in the game. First batter, try to catch him off guard. And that's a big part of baseball. It's that strategy. And sometimes when you lay a bunt down, the throw to first is wild, and sometimes you can get a double out of a bunt. So again, I like the things that are happening. Everyone is locked and loaded. Everyone is focused. And again, normally when we play in the morning, we're terrible, but today we look locked in. 1-2 pitch, pitch is high, and outside to Brian Reynolds, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes, I agree. Yes, and he's got that speed, but the way that he laid that bunt down, it just didn't give him enough room to run it out. It was like right to the pitcher, and then pitcher to first baseman, kind of a routine play. It wasn't like they had to scramble, and obviously, try to dig it out, from the turf or the grass. And it looks like, is the rain starting to come down? I see some of the fans here in Pittsburgh, they're getting their ponchos on. Some of them are moving out of the area where they're getting exposed. Boom, nice punch out to Brian Reynolds, who's arguably their best player. There we go. 2 away. That grandma and grandpa need help with their ponchos. Someone give them some assistance. Next up, shortstop today, O'Neal Cruz. Nice job by our boy, George Kirby, to get started early and often. As many Ks as we can get. We're probably not going to get 8 to 10. That used to be the number, I feel, for the Mariners, in 2022 and 2023. Even though it is a pitching league, I feel right now, 4 to 7 Ks is normally, the wheelhouse. And we'll get a lot of pop-ups and ground outs. Hopefully this game doesn't get canceled or they end up having some kind of delay. But it seems like the rain is coming down in Pittsburgh. But at least we got the 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first with 2 outs. Let's go, baby. Let's go, George. O'Neal Cruz chopped it behind the plate. Foul here at PNC. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We want to shoot for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. And then obviously Matt, the lead mod, has today off just like yesterday. Not going to have him wake up at 7 in the morning to do a game with me. And again, we'll have all the other games will be in the evening, pretty much this week. So 7 p.m. starts in the next 3 days in LA. And I'm up for the challenge. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Let's go. Oh, good. I said someone's probably going to be looking at that weather there. I can always count on you with the stats and the analytics, anything to do with what game that we're doing. There we go, George. Nice job. 2 Ks right out of the gates. And again, against some of their good players as well. And hopefully George can continue that. Right now, George is on pace for 12 Ks. Will he get there? Probably not. But if he can still get a strong, 4 to 7 Ks, or even maybe it's a good day today, maybe it's a 7 to 8K day, that would be fantastic, because if we can minimize a lot of the damage early, it's really going to help us, obviously, as we get into the back end of the game once George goes out, and then we're going to have to expose our bullpen, and hopefully we'll end up having a good lead at that point by 2 to 4 runs, so that way, things don't hit the fan and we don't shit the bed, because we definitely need this win more than anything. Big facts. All right, let's see who's up next for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners at third base, Hollywood. Josh Rojas has been a little bit of a liability on defense. The bat has not really heated up since April and May, but hopefully something will turn around with Josh Rojas, and who knows, maybe it'll be today. Batting second, playing shortstop, Leo Rivas. And batting third with the bunt attempt at his first at-bat, I'm not mad at it, center fielder Victor Robles. Let's go. And I don't expect him to bunt on every single at-bat today, but again, he is one of those guys that if you were going to drop a bunt down, I would say him and Leo Rivas would be the guys that would be the easiest to be successful. Julio, he's got the high ankle sprain. Cal and Luke, maybe not fast enough. Polo, I don't know if you'd be able to drop it down. Turner, maybe a little too slow. Dom, I don't know if you'd be able to do it either. So, maybe Rojas, Rivas, and Robles would be your best opportunities. But I would probably go right here. Rivas, number 2. Robles, number 1 with that speed. Let's go. Rain ending in 14 minutes. Let's go. Yeah. He's just got to be able to send me, merch that is not all blurry. If he's going to send me the merch that he either wants or is thinking about, or whatever the case may be, you got to send me some good photos to be able to present. Top of the second, 2-0 Mariners. And if you're just tuning into the matchup, big dumper Cal Raleigh, homer to right, 367 feet. Julio was on board with good hustle with the high ankle sprain, only 80% healed up. And we got a nice 2-0 lead, and that's exactly what we needed. There we go! Hollywood, Josh Rojas. Sometimes you ask and you shall receive. We need someone to get off to a good start, and sometimes if you just talk it into existence, it fucking happens. There we go, Hollywood. Fuck yeah. Next up, shortstop, Leo Rivas. And I wouldn't mind him dropping down the bunt. And it's also raining. So you got to think, with the rain coming down, and obviously if you drop a bunt towards third base, it might get overthrown, and you have a good opportunity to get safe to first and to move the runner over. Let's see what happens here. PJ in the building. What's good? Pitch right down the middle to Leo Rivas for a strike, 0-1 count. You just got to be able to take advantage and be aware of the opportunity. Rain is coming down, right? This team has struggled at hitting. Obviously we got a lot of strikeouts. It's pouring down rain right now at PNC. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So there's going to be more opportunities for errors today, as well as, we'll see how long this rain lasts. Reflex says 14 minutes, and then we'll see if it comes back before the game is over. But definitely this is a good opportunity to drop down the bunt. 1-1 pitch. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And if the rain keeps coming down like this, there might be some hit by pitches and some walks that will not be able to be prevented just because the rain is coming down so much. Let's go, M's. Two-one pitch. Oh, look, the bunt attempt. He showed it. I love it, man. I love it that, finally Scott Service is listening. There's certain things that can make you a better manager, even though a lot of people want you out. And it's all about strategy and, and not looking long-term, but managing the game inning by inning, And if you manage it inning by inning and really take it serious, that could be the opportunity in that one particular inning. That could be the inning that wins the game for the team. Everything should be magnified. Things have been tough for us. Top of the second, 2-0 Mariners, 5-game losing streak about to end today. Runner at first, 3-2 count from Woodford to Leo Rivas. ump getting extra baseballs due to the wetness of the thunderstorm and rain coming down. And speaking of thunderstorm and lightning, we had one here in Oregon yesterday from about 2:30 until about 4:30, 5:30. It was definitely very loud right over my house. And I was going to say it wasn't shaking the house per se, but it kind of felt like it. It was very, very loud, and probably 8 different, thunder bursts that we had in a couple hours, from 2:30 to 4:30, 5:30, 6:30 time frame. And it was nice. When the rain comes down, you smell that morning air, you smell that afternoon air, the dew off the concrete, on the flowers and trees. We waited a little bit after that and ended up going on a long walk. And Paisley is a very happy girl. Pitches outside, and that is ball number 4. Yeah. Kind of surprised that they haven't stopped it, but again, I'm glad that they're just letting them continue. Leo to first. Runners at first and second. Rojas at second. Leo at first. Next up, Victor Robles. And you could actually drop the bunt down here as well, and to move the guys over. Might be a wild pitch, and you might be able to move the guys to second and third naturally. But Victor doesn't have to drop a bunt down. But look at him. He's doing it again. Wow. I love it, man. But again, obviously, when it goes into his third and fourth at bat, those are probably going to be swings. But to be able to possibly drop down bunts in his first 2 at bats, first one was unsuccessful, but shows bunt, takes a strike, 0-1 count. Oh, showing it again. Takes a strike, behind in the count, 0-2. Yeah. Oh, I bet. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Somebody in the Mariner organization is listening. I mean, again, hardcore fans that watch every game to beginning to end. Hey, we might not be a manager or, an owner or someone that's a part of the actual organization, but that doesn't mean that we don't know what we're talking about, especially someone that likes analytics and metrics as much as you and me reflect. And I feel that, certain things can be avoided, with the Mariners. And again, if we can just take advantage of every situation the best way we can, it's going to lead to more dubs and a good chance to come back and try to take the AL West from the Astros. But we got to do it game in and game out. And again, we need a little bit of a shot in the arm. And I think that when J.P. Crawford comes back, we'll get that. But it seems like after the acquisition, of Victor Robles and the acquisition at the deadline with Justin Turner and Randy Arozarena, it seems like that momentum has kind of died a little bit. The excitement has died a little bit. It's like, okay, we got these guys, but then they haven't been producing as much, and then we kind of hit a wall. So it's time for something or someone to give us a spark to get back on track, and JP can do that offensively, defensively, and in the dugout. So I feel that once he is able to come back in a couple weeks, hopefully that'll give us the spark that we need to get back on track. But we're getting back on track here today. Top of the second, 2-0 Mariners. Runners at first and second with no outs. Let's go, Victor Robles. Robles, chopper towards third, foul. Man, maybe my favorite pickup for a bag of Cheetos. For a guy that, was a decent player, during the World Series run, obviously with the Nats, right? And then since then, not really, a guy that you would ever hear about, but sometimes it's a change of scenery, right? Pitches outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes, count is full. But sometimes a change of scenery from a organization that is dysfunctional. Maybe they weren't dysfunctional in that World Series run, but since then, it kind of seems like it. I don't know what it is about those teams over there in D.C. Same thing with the Washington football team, Commanders, Redskins. Robles, line drive. There we go, in the corner. Go, go, go. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Go, go, Leo, go. Slide. Safe. Boom. There we go. Victor Robles with a triple, baby. Let's go. Way to bring that electricity. And again, tried to show bunt. Even got out on a first bunt. And then every single player that we need to be able to step up doing their job. There we go, Victor Robles, 4-0 Mariners. We've already hit the number, again, for us to be able to win this game. And again, we're not done. This is going to be the game where we explode, and we need this. Let's go. Hell yeah. But Victor is probably my, favorite, no-name guy that we picked up that ended up just being amazing for us. And again, the change of scenery has benefited, and he has earned the extension. And I would actually be upset if he left the team, because you never know if Randy Arozarena, or Julio will get hurt. So it's always nice to have that other guy out there that is good as them that can produce. So let's go. Hell yeah. Robles, baby. Like I said, Robles, 10 out of 10. JT, 10 out of 10. Randy Arozarena, 10 out of 10. And it's very rare, when we can get guys like that. Even JT Chargois and Jimmy Garcia, I like those pickups. I think they were good. There's not a bad player that we picked up besides before the season started with, arguably Polo. It's a love-hate relationship, but he's been good as of late. But the only bad one is probably Mitch Garver. But other than that, everything is starting to come up. Seattle. Let's go, baby. In the box, Julio Rodriguez. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Reflect with the tenor. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Let's go. Julio crushes that one foul. I just wish that we didn't have to have our backs against the wall, all the time, for us to be able to get the win. And again, the Skeens matchup, I knew we were going to lose, but I was just hoping that it was going to be close. But we needed to win yesterday, and that shit was demoralizing. And it feels good that we can actually say that, hey, in the morning, it is possible for us to play good baseball. And we've only had a couple good morning games all year, let alone we're on the road in PNC. We're not at T-Mobile. So, but everyone doing their job. You're getting your job done by, guys that are struggling like Hollywood Josh Rojas. And again, don't be surprised if Dominic Canzone doesn't come up with a big play here today. He's got to make up for that birthday disaster that he had with that diving catch. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss for Julio. 1 away. Julio put his whole body into that swing, almost fell down. It's okay, my guy. Just get healthy. And then maybe after, that high ankle sprain ends up healing, we'll end up seeing you go yard, or maybe you'll go yard against the Dodgers. Next up, for the Mariners, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Takes a pitch inside, 1-0 count. And Cal is one of those guys on the team that can go yard twice in a game, both from the left side, both from the right side, or his favorite, one from the left, and then later on the game, one from the right, depending on if the pitcher is left-handed or right-handed. Top of the second, 4-0 Mariners. Runner at third with 1 out. Woodford with a 2-0 count to Cal Raleigh. Oh-4 record, 5.87 ERA. I mean, obviously, wave the white flag. If we can't beat a pitcher like this and we get swept by the Tigers, swept by the Pirates, that's going to carry over to the Dodgers series. But not only that, if we got swept by the Dodgers, as well as this team, 3 sweeps in a row, then there would be a very high probability that we struggle and possibly lose to not only the Giants, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Angels. And again, those are winnable series, but if you're, in the dumps and you're mentally fucked, based on how you played against the previous teams, shit can carry over very quickly. So this is a must-win game, and I love the energy that we're bringing out here today as the sun peaks out there in Pittsburgh after that thunderstorm that came through, where a lot of the fans had to bust out the ponchos. Top of the second, 4-0 Mariners. Let's go. Dumper popped up to second base. First baseman there, and the second baseman, 2 away. That's all right. You already hit a home run for us. Can't expect you to hit 3 or 4 home runs in one game, which would be nice, though. All right, here we go. In the 5 hole. Nah. Normally in the 5 hole, in the 4 hole today. Left fielder, Luke Rayleigh, Luke Nukem, Nuke Rayleigh, Rails, whatever you want to call him. Let's go. And he's playing for Randy Arozarena today. Randy's numbers have been down a little bit in the last few games. So normally if I see Randy or Justin Turner out, I'm like a little upset. But I get it. Julio's kind of snagging that DH spot for now as we wait for him to get healthy. So someone is always going to be the odd man out. And normally it'll be typically Luke Rayleigh, right? But for him to get a chance to play over Randy, already got a big hit, with hustling to first. So he already made his worth known. And again, Randy has, been 0 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 5, 1 for 5. He's not been, as good as he was when we first got him. When we first got him, the excitement was there. The last few games has been a little bit of a struggle. So to give him a day off, to get a little bit of rest before we play the Dodgers, I think was a good move. And Luke has hit a home run within the last couple days. Hustles always to first. And again, he's a pretty good defender, in the outfield as well, or first base. So I don't expect like a 3 or 4 hit day out of Luke, but I think he'll have 2 hits today. I think that's very possible. Top of the second, 4-0 Mariners, runner at third with 2 outs. 1-2 pitch from Woodford to Rayleigh. Got him. Nice pitch there by Woodford. Nice punch out there by Jake Woodford. Let's go, baby. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning, 4-0 Mariners. Hell yeah. That feels good to say, Reflect. Normally when we say 4-0, we're down, and it's like just misery. Or it's 4-0 and like, fuck, the game is over already. That's kind of how it feels, right? But at least the bats are coming alive, and we'll see if the bats will come alive here for Pittsburgh at some point. Next up for the Pirates, catcher in the cleanup spotting role, number 4, Joey Bart. Batting second in the 5 hole, first baseman, Rowdy Tellez. And batting in the 6 hole, batting third, left fielder, the former Marlin, Brian De La Cruz. Let's go, baby. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. If there's anything that you want to see. I know you're probably one of the main ones that doesn't really care. You're just doing it to support me and Paisley, which I appreciate more than you know. We're at 15 likes. We need 5 more to get to 20. Now we're at 16. Thank you so much. We need 4 more in the next 13 minutes to hit the goal in the first hour, and we're definitely on track. Let's go, baby. But if there is anything that you want to see, you let me know. Appreciate you. Yeah, and also it doesn't help that the Astros keep on fucking winning. Like, can you drop a fucking series? Can you play bad for once? And again, they've been pretty fucking hot, since June 1st, July 1st. So it's like when you get these teams that start off slow, but they have talent, they're not going to be shitty, for the whole year. You already know eventually they're going to find their groove and the right combination, either, deactivating a player like which they did with Abreu, or, finding a little bit of health in the pitching staff, or just getting players moved around in the batting order. But the swag is back in H-Town. And obviously they got a big lead on us now, I believe 4-game lead. So not ideal, especially when we had a 10-game lead just a month and a half, 2 months ago. Well, a lot can change in a baseball season. We were thinking 90 to 95 wins for me, 100 to 105 for you. And then now it's like, I don't even know if we're going to even get to 90. So hopefully we can turn it around. And this team is too good, right, to not make the playoffs and make the dance to see what could happen. And again, a lot of people will choose, the Twins, the Royals, the Guardians, the Orioles, or Yankees over us. That's fine. If you want to choose those other teams over, it's fine. We'll play the underdog. But as long as we can get the bats to come alive, and we can end up getting 4 runs or more, we're going to have a good chance to beat any of those teams in the American League. Now, if we end up getting 1 to 3 runs, they're going to beat us. But if we can end up getting 4 more times than not, 4 or more, we can beat anybody, especially with our pitching staff. The weakest part about our team, I don't really think necessarily is just the bats. I feel it's the bullpen. The bullpen has screwed us more. But again, the strikeouts haven't been as common since we picked up Robles, Turner, and Arasarena, right? But they're still there. 10 to 15 a game is usually what we average in the Ks, but it seems like it's slightly down. Batting averages are still terrible. We're still the worst hitting team in baseball, 30 out of 30, usually somewhere between 200 and 215. Sometimes we'll get to 220, and that's been pretty much the MO of the Mariners the last 2 years, regardless on who's on the team. We're batting 200 to 220. But we've never been last in batting average besides this year. So again, hopefully we can find a way to get that batting average up just a little bit more. We don't need to be batting, all the way as a team 260, 270, number one, but to go from at some point 220 to I would say 230 to 240 would be such a big improvement. It sounds like it's not, but it really is. Bottom of the second, 4-0 Mariners. Yeah, I like being able to pull up little pieces here and there. And again, you read a lot like I do. I think reading in this younger generation, it's dead. Unless you're talking about reading on a tablet or a phone. But a lot of people don't read out of books, magazines, and just being able, you can get a lot of resources on the internet as well. But I always want to be able to learn every day from someone else. And I always want to be able to gain more and more knowledge so that way we can pass that on to the others that might not be as hardcore of a fanatic like us. Bottom of the second, 4-0 Seattle. George Kirby on the mound, Joey Bart in the box. Yeah, that is crazy. I remember we pulled up photos of him, a few months back. Looks like the sun is starting to come out there, which is nice there at PNC. Ponchos are off for all the fans. First strike there to Joey Bart, behind in the count 0-1. We're at 10, 90 to go. Little dribbler towards third. Foul. Behind in the count 0-2. And I'm glad that you're here. It's always better when we can get some hardcore Mariner fans to join me in the stream. And some people are working. Some people have church. Some people have other obligations. But I feel like we do better, when there's more of us in here together. I can always hold it down if nobody's here, or there's barely anyone commenting, or it's a bunch of people watching internationally that may or may not speak English, may or may not smash the like button or comment at all. I'm still going to have a good time and hold it down, obviously, for the NWSF. But I feel it's always funner to be able to vibe, in the stream where you can actually get the fans to come through. And the better that the Mariners do, as far as, throughout the seasons, the further we go, the more this channel will blow up because no one's working harder, doing Mariner coverage than me. So, being known as the Seattle Mariner YouTuber is something that I want to make sure that we keep grinding away. And again, if we can ever get ourselves to the ALCS or World Series, that might be the thing that elevates the channel to the next step. Same thing with the Oregon Ducks. This year, the next year, and the following year with Dan Lanning, if we're a top 4 team, and if we can finally get to a natty and win against Ohio State, Georgia, or Texas, that could be huge for the channel as well. To put a little bit more eyeballs on the channel for the teams that we represent here. Little bloop out into right field, one away. Next up for the Pirates, first baseman, Rowdy Tellez. Let's go, George. Got the great run support today. And again, we're not going to be always correct with our ESP and our predictions. But sometimes the writing is on the wall, and there's going to be a black and white, and there's also a gray area. And if you just pay attention, to the things that happen in sports, things, tend to repeat themselves over and over. You just have to notice the signs. Popped up, Rojas is there, 2 away. All right, get that exercise. I already went for a long 45-minute walk this morning with Paisley, and hopefully we'll still have the lead when you come back. Appreciate you and your support. to the channel. Means everything. Rowdy Tellez pops up into left. The Hollywood Josh Rojas, 2 away. Next up, left fielder, the former Marlin, Brian De La Cruz. Pitch is low at the knees for a strike, 0-1 count. There we go, baby. Most home runs by MLB catchers. Cal Raleigh didn't make the All-Star game this year. Number 1, 27 homers. Number 2, Shea Langoliers on Oakland, 22. Salvador Perez, the backup to Adley Rushman, at 22 as well. Put some respect on my guy's name, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. Bottom of the second, 4-0 Mariners. 1-2 pitch from Kirby to De La Cruz. Pitch is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch, little dribbler. Polo is there, throw to first. Justin Turner, got him. Hell yeah, great start. End of the second inning, 4-0 Mariners. Fuck yeah. Let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, playing second base, 0 for 1 with a K, Jorge Polanco. Batting second, 1 for 1, first baseman, JT Justin Turner. And batting third, 0 for 1, right fielder, Dominic Canzone. Let's go Mariners. I got to get situated here for the NASCAR Cup Series race. It's about to start here as well. I'm always multitasking. All right, we need one more like to be able to hit our goal. We got 3 minutes to go. There we go. Thank you so much. We hit the goal. We're at 20 within the first hour. Thank you to whoever that was. I appreciate you guys very, very much. If you do have a Twitter/X account and want to be able to obviously support the cause and like and retweet the live stream post, that would be great. And again, if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Now we're at 20. Now we're going to be shooting for 30 to 50 overall. Thank you so much. We're at 20. 10 more to hit 30. Let's go, baby. And we're at 10, 90 to go on the Dono goal. And Jake Woodford getting roughed up a little bit today. But again, this was our best opportunity to hopefully get back on track. But just because someone's got an 0-4 record, an ERA of 5.87 doesn't mean that we're going to win. But at least we're doing good here today. We got Brian Wu against Gavin Stone, Bryce Miller against Walker Buehler, and Logan Gilbert against Jack Flaherty. All 3 games are going to be late at 7 p.m. Pacific against the Dodgers in L.A. So we're going to have my team going against my dad's team. My dad's been a fan of the Dodgers since the 50s. I've been a fan of the Mariners since the mid-80s. So I can't wait to see how that will pan out. And hopefully the Mariners can win 2 out of 3, at the very least 1 out of 3. But again, there's a real good potential to get swept by that team. But hopefully we bring the bats and the pitching stays strong and we can get lucky and at least win 1 out of 3. But 2 out of 3 would be great. 3 out of 3 would be a dream. And I don't expect us to win 3 out of 3 against the Dodgers the way we've been playing as of late. But you never know. Polo pops up, slicing foul. Down goes Polo. Strikeout on Polo, 1 away. All right, got to get the race situated here. All right, we're good to go. All right, race is on. Boom. I'm ready. Let's go. Little dribbler by Justin Turner. Throw to first. O'Neal Cruz. Got him. 2 away. Top of the third, 4-0 Mariners. Polo with the strikeout. Justin Turner with a little dribbler. 2 away. Next up, right fielder, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. Got to make up for your birthday. That diving attempt, ended up backfiring on your birthday a couple days ago against Skeens. So I'm really hoping that we can get a Dominic Canzone home run or a big RBI or a big hit or 2 today to kind of get his confidence back. One-0 pitch from Woodford to Dom. Pitches outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Let's go, baby. 2-0 pitch. Dom, slow roller to first. Got him. 3 up and 3 down. A very easy top of the third for Pittsburgh. Let's see what the Pirates have in store here with their bats. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors so far for Seattle. And they don't even have a hit yet against George Kirby. They got an error. It looks like Pittsburgh has been charged with 1 error, but they don't have a hit just yet. All right, see who's up next here for the Pirates. See if they can get their first hit of the day. But the longer they go without one, that's better for George Kirby. He needs it. 2 big losses to Scooball. He needs a little bit of redemption. Next up for the Pirates, in the 7-hole, center fielder Michael Taylor. Batting second in the 8-hole, who actually made some defensive gems in right field, G. Juan Bay. And batting third baseman in the 9-hole, Jared Triolo. Let's take a quick look at the numbers for George Kirby. All right, George Kirby, 2 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, 2 Ks, 29 pitches, 20 strikes. That's my boy. Nice job, George. Keep it going. Arguably our best pitcher on the staff, not named Logan Gilbert or Bryant Wu. Obviously, Castillo and Miller are 4 and 5. Let's take a look at Jake's numbers. Obviously getting roughed up a little bit here today. 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 64 pitches, 38 strikes, and his ERA has blossomed into almost 6.58. So again, we were due for a good hitting performance, and finally we got one. Next up for the Pirates, center fielder Michael Taylor. Kip in the building. What's good, brother? I got this game on. Mariners are up 4-0. We're on a 5-game losing streak, so we're ready to get out of it. I got NASCAR Cup Series on here as well. I'm multitasking. Things are good. How are you, Kip? I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Football season right around the corner. Lots of preseason, obviously, this weekend. And then we got 2 games later tonight that our people are going to keep their eyes on. Saints and Niners at 5. And then we got a really good one with the Packers and Broncos to be able to kind of evaluate Bo Nix. So I'll definitely be watching those. But, I'll be spending some time with the Paisley Pup. Thank you for smashing the like button. I appreciate it. Bottom of the third, 4-0 Mariners, George Kirby. Pitch on the corner. Outside should have been a ball, but called strike by the ump. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Michael Taylor. One-two pitch. Got him. Third fucking punch out by George Kirby. Nice job, my guy. Got a no-hitter right now. for George halfway through. Let's go, baby. Keep it going, George. You're the man. Mariner Moose fucking loves it. Next up, right fielder Ji Hwan Bae, who actually made a couple big catches yesterday that would have drove in 3 or 4 runs, but his athleticism in right field was definitely on display yesterday. Let's go, baby. Popped up. I'm a realist, right? I'm never going to be able to, be biased, even towards my own teams. I'm going to call it how I see it. I'm going to call a spade a spade. If I think the team is a championship-worthy team like the Oregon Ducks, then you're going to know it. We're a top 4 team. We're going for the Natty. We're going to try to go undefeated, and we're trying to get the Heisman with Dylan Gabriel. And I think a lot of those things could happen, where we go 11-0, 10-1. We might not make the Natty, but there's a chance that we might. And we might end up getting destroyed by Ohio State or Georgia like we have in the past, but maybe this is the year, right? But as far as the Tampa Bay Bucks are concerned, I think they're good enough to win the division. NFC South will be a competition with 3 teams as Ji Hwan Bae runs out that little bloop single into first. Polo because can't handle that baseball, and obviously Ji Hwan takes a little bit of advantage of Polo's suspect defense. But I think, Falcons have improved with Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix Jr. Obviously getting, Judon definitely helps, as well as another individual from the Denver Broncos who was floating around there with Simmons. So I feel the defense is getting improved. They're going to be better. The Saints are always a threat. The Panthers obviously will be dead last, but it'll be a 3-team race. And we'll see what team ends up getting the 10 or 12 wins. And whoever that is going to end up winning the division. Now, whoever wins the division between the Falcons, Saints, and Bucks are probably going to be playoff pretenders, where they're going to get there, but they'll probably, lose the first game or maybe win a game and then lose the next, particular matchup. But I don't really see any of the teams in the NFC South being Super Bowl contenders. I think they're playoff teams, but I don't necessarily think that any of those 3 could go all the way. I don't even think any of those 3 teams could make it to the NFC Championship game. You still got to give a lot of respect to the 49ers and the Lions. I would say that those are 2 teams right now that are very structured to be able to make deep runs, and then we'll see a few other teams, try to catch up to those 2. Next up is Jared Triolo. Popped up, fading foul. Bottom of the third, 4-0 Seattle, runner at first with 1 out. 2-2 pitch from George Kirby to Jared Triolo. Oh, Colorado stinks, bro. They stink. They have no defense. Just because you got Deion Sanders doesn't mean. Remember what happened with all the hype, and then when Colorado came into Oregon and we stomped them, by like 50. So Colorado has 0% chance in the Natty. 0. You got to look at your rankings. You have to do a little bit more reading, Kip. Colorado has no chance. There's only 4 teams that are at the upper echelon in college football this year. Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Oregon 3, and obviously Texas 4. And then you still got Michigan and Alabama that will be good, in the top 10. But obviously if you don't have Harbaugh or Saban, there's going to be teams like Dan Lanning in Oregon and Steve Sarkisian, Texas, that are going to leapfrog those 2 other teams. But Colorado, 0% chance, bro. They're not going to win very many games this year. They have no defense. Bottom of the third, 4-0 Seattle. You got to look at the transfer portal. You got to be able to look at all the signings of 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. And again, I know I do a little bit more reading and, a little bit more film study on that end. But yeah, don't ever say Colorado in a chat, bro. You will get roasted. They have 0% chance. Now, if we're talking about playing on like NCAA football 25, yeah, maybe Colorado might be able to do something, if you're playing in a video game. But if we're talking real life, yeah, they're terrible, bro. Yeah, it's like you got Shedeur Sanders, but again, you only have a couple players on the team that are even notable, on that roster. Bottom of the third, 4-0 Seattle, runners at first and second with 1 out. Next up is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And you got to remember that the Pac-12 doesn't exist anymore. So if you're moving to a new conference and, you're going to be going to like the Big 12, Oklahoma and Texas are no longer there. But Utah is there, and Utah will be better than Colorado. But Colorado hasn't had a defense forever, so. Now, if they're playing some shitty teams, shitty colleges, they might be able to have a few wins and a little bit of a glow up, but you'll see. Bottom of the third, 4-0 Seattle. Runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. Next up, their best player, DHing today, Brian Reynolds. Yeah, but practice is practice, bro. Anybody can look good in practice. But when we're talking about the actual games in college football, it's totally different. You can't really learn anything in practice. Whether it's training camp, even when you're watching preseason games, a lot of the bad teams are beating the good teams because the good teams aren't playing their starters. So just because you're winning in preseason doesn't mean that the teams are going to be good in the regular season. There's a lot of teams that will go like 3-0, 4-0 in preseason and then start off the year 0-4. So you just have to look at the stats and the analytics. But at least your Phillies and Eagles should be promising. Saquon Barkley running the ball should be awesome. We just got to be able to see if they can beef up that line since Kelsey retired, and hopefully that defense will be better. Reynolds crushes that one into right field, stays in play, and there we go. We leave 2 stranded on first and third, end of the third inning, 4-0 Mariners. There we go, baby. See who's up here next for the Mariners. And I'll be doing a lot of NFL games. I'll be doing college football games as well, not just Oregon. And we'll also be doing a lot of reaction videos on the NFL and college football side. So I'm definitely excited about that. I'll have a new image of myself on the thumb. And then obviously we'll be breaking down those as we get closer and closer into the season. Oh yeah, Travis Hunter, Mike, is going to be awesome. I mean, if we're talking about an athlete, kind of like DeAnthony Thomas, kind of like speed and athleticism, but for a guy that can play wide receiver and corner, that's special. You don't really see that too often. But besides Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, and there might be a couple newbies, that get into the starting lineup on defense or offense that make plays, that make names for themselves. But, if we're really being honest, it might be one of the most overrated, colleges. Like Deion is Deion, right? And there was all that hype last year. But then when they played Oregon and Eugene, what happened? I went to that game. We stomped the shit out of them. And then after that, no one talked about Colorado. It's like you can start off 3-0 and 4-0 against some dog shit teams like North Dakota, South Dakota, or whoever. But once you actually start playing some big dogs, you'll find out if you don't got defense, you're going to get fucking crushed. You can still make plays on offense, but you got to have some kind of defense out there. So, yeah. And again, Utah more than likely will win the Big 12. Colorado isn't going to be like, this isn't the same type of Colorado with like Cordell Stewart back in the day where they actually in the early 2000s and the late 90s where they were there with like Nebraska and Oregon and Miami in the U with like Jeremy Shockey and Ken Dorsey and Clinton Portis. This isn't the same Colorado from years ago, So, and I hope that they do well, but again, they are going to get fucking crushed. Top of the fourth, 4-0 Seattle. Yeah, but I am a little worried about the Eagles' O-line and that defense. I mean, you saw what happened when you guys ended up hitting that wall, and then you got blasted by my Bucks in the playoffs, and you guys were good for the first half of the year, for the first 10 games, and then the last 7-8 games, including the playoffs, you guys just gave up, and you could tell that nobody was playing for each other, which was kind of heartbreaking because the team was so good for so long. So, it shows you it's not how you start a season, it's how you end a season. You can start off 9-0, 10-0, but then if things fall apart and you can't figure it out, then you're going to have what happened to the Eagles last year, and obviously, the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They can win 10 to 12 games in the regular season and then shit the bed in the playoffs or miss the playoffs or make it and lose like they always do. And obviously the Giants are going to be irrelevant. And we'll see the, Washington football team. They're kind of hit or miss with the Washington football team and the Giants. They're good once every 4 to 5 years. that they might be able to win the division or get a wild card. But obviously, as we know, the Giants and Washington are dysfunctional. So if you have a dysfunctional team and a dysfunctional family, it's probably not going to work out year in and year out. Popped up. All the way back. Gone! Hollywood, Josh Rojas. And it's kind of crazy because at the beginning of the broadcast, I was mentioning a guy that has been slumping for us. And I was hoping that he would be able to start a new beginning today. And here it is, solo home run by Hollywood Josh Rojas, bringing that electricity. Sometimes the sports gods listen to what I have to say. Bang! 5-0 Mariners. Hell yeah. Next up, shortstop Leo Rivas. And Rojas hasn't really been a good hitter since April and May. You know, he was leading the team in the 9-hole with a 300, 350 batting average. But since then, June, July, and August have not been kind to Rojas. The bat has been bad in the box. He's been making errors at third, and I'm really happy for the guy that he's actually be able to turn shit around. Nice job, Hollywood. Leo Rivas. There we go, Rivas. With a hard hit ball into right field. Nice job. Top of the fourth, 5-0 Mariners with a runner at first with no outs. Nice job, Leo. Nice job, Hollywood. Next up, center fielder, Victor Robles. Danielson's in the building. What's good? Yeah, I live here in Oregon too, so I'm not from Seattle. You know, obviously I'm a big Mariner fan, and Matt Griffey, you know, in his rookie year in '89. But, you know, I'm out here, you know, towards kind of the Beaverton area where Nike headquarters is at. So I'm not that far from you. But we do a lot of Mariner games. And, you know, I'm known for doing Mariner games and Ducks games. So I'm not sure if you're a Duck fan as well. But, again, I will be doing every single Duck game as long as I'm not there in Eugene. But I am trying to go for that Ohio State-Oregon game, even though I know nosebleeds are like $300-400. But it's going to be epic. Might be the only game that we lose all year. But remember, when the Ducks ended up playing Ohio State in the shoe on the road, we had no Kayvon Thibodeau and we won. So anything is possible from the Ducks this year. Top of the fourth, 5-0 Mariners. Runner at first. No outs, 2-0 count to Victor Robles. Takes a strike right down the middle. 2 balls and no strikes. Welcome to the channel. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We're at 10 on the donos, 90 to go on the dono train. Robles, yes, sir, over the second baseman's head, and we are fucking rolling, baby. Let's go. Hollywood Rojas, solo jack. Rivas, nice hit to right field. Robles, right over the second baseman's head in front of the center fielder. We are rolling. Next up, DHing for the Mariners with a high ankle sprain, Julio Rodriguez. Go, J-Rod. Trident's up, baby. But I watch everything. I watch the Huskies. I watch the Cougs. I watch the Beavers. You know, anything that was Pac-12 related, I'm going to watch, not only to scout, but to be able to root for, you know, those particular teams. And now that since that's been broken up and we don't have a, you know, Pac-12 anymore, obviously us, the Huskies, you know, the Bruins and the Trojans are in the Big Ten. And then a few of the teams ended up going, you know, to the Big 12. And then there's a few teams that were still kind of looking on where to go, you know, like with the Washington State Cougars and the Oregon State Beavers, which I think that those two teams would make good additions, you know, to the Big Ten, but they feel that they don't make enough money and they didn't get the invite. So unfortunate for those two teams, but we'll see where it goes. Captain in the building. What's good? Well, it's a good day today, man. I predicted that Cal would homer today. 5 seconds later, he did. Gave us that 2-0 lead. You know, we're dropping bunts down. We're having good effort, you know, running to first. Julio had a nice little slow roller, you know, early in the matchup and ran it out. And then Cal ended up hitting a home run at the next at bat. So it could have been easily 1-0, but it was 2-0. Everything is going good, and this was a must-win game. You know, we got swept by the Tigers. Obviously got our ass kicked in the first 2 games against the Pirates, and we got a 3-game set on the road against the Dodgers. You don't want to get swept by the Tigers, swept by the Pirates, and swept by the Dodgers when we're trying to make the playoffs. Then we got the Giants, Tampa Bay Rays, and the Angels after that. And I know a lot of people say, well, the Giants, Rays, and Angels suck. Yeah, that might be true, or they may be average or around 500 or below 500, but that doesn't mean that the Mariners can beat them when we're playing like shit. So this is a big, big win. so far. I mean, it's not over yet. It feels like we're going to win the game, but obviously we needed to do something to stop that losing streak, which was at coincidentally 5, and the game right now is 5-0. Julio, double play attempt. Oh, wild throw. Go, go, go. There we go. Rivas scores 6-0 Mariners. Wow. Holy shit. I don't think I've seen that before. That could have been a double play, and that was a wild throw over the second baseman's head, and that ends up bringing an unforced error and a run. Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. I have never seen that. That's the first time here in 2024 that I've seen that play like that. They went for the double play, and he threw it over the second baseman's head over like 2 feet. And that ends up bringing in another runner. Now we got runners on the corners at first and third with no outs. And again, if we can't beat a pitcher, right, that's 0-4, right? That's got a 5.87 ERA. Losing to Skeens, I knew we were going to lose. Yesterday, we could have won that game, you know, if the bats came alive, but they didn't. And then thankfully the bats came alive here today. 6-0 Mariners. I had to throw on the Julio jersey today. You know, I was just going to wear a cutoff Mariners shirt, but I thought, you know, we've been on a 5-game losing streak. I got to do something extra for us to get this dub. And it's been on and off with the hot weather. You know, we're on a little bit of a cold front, but hopefully now the bats will heat up. And again, it's going to be tough going against the Dodgers in LA, but hopefully this will help us here. Can Cal Raleigh homer again? Top of the fourth, 6-0 Mariners. Runners on the corners, first and third, no outs. Behind in the count, 0-2. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. It'd be greatly appreciated. And again, we're at 10 on the donos, 90 to go to hit the goal. O2 pitch, throw to first, to Julio, safe. Feels good, Captain, to be on the opposite end, you know, after getting our ass kicked for so many games, seeing the Astros have like a 4-game lead. It's like, can't the Astros lose some fucking games and help us out? It's like every time we lost, they won, you know, and we had a 10-game lead. And then now that evaporated, now we're 4 games back. But again, the season is long, you know, and some Mariner fans are acting like we're 20 games below 500, you know, and I get it, you know, but again, until you're a fan for a long period of time, you know, you don't realize, you know, the ups and downs you're going to have being a Pacific Northwest fan, whether it's the Blazers, whether the Mariners, whether it's, you know, the Seahawks, the Ducks, the Beavers, the Cougs, the Huskies, you know, the Kraken. You know, we don't have the Sonics right now, but they're going to be coming back soon. You know, I would assume Seattle and Vegas will get new NBA teams, and then that'll transition them to have 32 instead of 30. But again, you know, it takes a while for our teams to get good in the Pacific Northwest, and there's going to be a lot of heartache and heartbreak. But once we get good, you know, and we're a championship caliber team, a lot of times, you know, we can go all the way, but it might take 4 or 5 years to build a team to get to that point. So remember, you know, it's a work in progress here for the Seattle Mariners. Top of the fourth, 6-0 Seattle. Runners on the corners at first and third, and we got big dumper Cal Raleigh, who homered in the first inning to give us a 2-0 lead. Can he homer again? We'll find out. Let's go, big dumper. Can you tell I like big dumper? My guy. Best player on the Mariners in 2024, leading all catchers in home runs. And again, should have made the All-Star game this year. They had Salvador Perez and Adley Rutschman, you know, but maybe they should start, you know, bringing 3 catchers, you know, to the All-Star game. Doesn't mean that all of them are going to play, you know, but just to get that notoriety. But Salvador Perez is kind of at the end of his career, so it should be Cal Raleigh and Adley Rutschman moving forward. And again, the better that the Mariners do and the deeper we go in the playoffs, more recognition big dumper will get. Pitch at the knees, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's go, baby. Woodford getting fucked up in the game. But again, finally, we were due. 2-2 pitch. Cal chops that one towards first base. Foul. Let's see where we're at on the likes right now. Where are we at? We are at 24. We need 6 more to get to 30 to hit the goal. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Now we're at 25. 5 more likes to get to 30. Let's go, baby. Popped up by Cal Raleigh. O'Neal Cruz is there. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a K, playing for Randy Arosarena, giving him a little bit of a breather today. Left fielder, Nuke Raley. Some people call him Rails. Some call him Luke Raley. Some people call him Nuke Raley, Luke Nukem, whatever you call him. Hopefully Luke can come alive here today. He already has a hit earlier in the matchup, but I want him to get 2 today. We need him to get back on track as well. Let's go. 1-0 pitch. Railing. Should be a sacrifice here at third. Popped up into center field to Michael Taylor. Victor Robles tags up. 7-0 Mariners. Let's go. Hell yeah. There we go. Nice job by Luke Raley with the RBI. And down comes Victor Robles tagging up from third to home. 7-0 Mariners, baby. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Good. I'm glad George is actually, getting a little recognition there. Slow roller, throw to first, and that ends the inning, but the damage is done. And it looks like in the NASCAR Cup Series, they have rain. So they're going to have to wait for this rain to pass before the race starts. I was wondering why they haven't started racing just yet. All right, baby. Let's go. Feels good to be on this end of the scoreboard, huh, Captain? Fuck, man. Been a real rough 5 games. Like losing 5 games in a row feels like to a Mariner fan like 15. The bleeding, it just never stops, and you start to like bleed out. But at least now we're able to get back on track. Feels like we're going to win this one. I mean, unless we have this like ultimate collapse with our bullpen, which is possible, but I don't think it's going to happen today. And then we got a 3-game set Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 p.m. against the Dodgers in LA. So we needed to end the losing streak, because we might start another one. We got Dodgers, we got Giants, we got the Tampa Bay Rays and the Angels. And obviously Giants, Rays, and Angels, you would think we could win 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4. But with the Dodgers, you're always in a position, especially if they're playing in LA at Dodger Stadium, you could easily get swept or only win 1 game. So hopefully this will spark a little bit of Uncle Mo and momentum as we go to LA to face the Dodgers, which isn't going to be easy. Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, the former Mariner, and obviously former Blue Jay. I mean, there's not a better starting 4 in baseball than those 4. You got 3 Hall of Famers, right? And Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei Ohtani. And then you got a guy who's trying to be a Hall of Fame player and being a very good all-star type of player in Teoscar Hernandez. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's see who's up here for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Next up for the Pirates, 0 for 1 with a K, playing shortstop today for Pittsburgh, O'Neal Cruz. Batting second, catching today for Pittsburgh, Joey Bart. And batting third in the 5-hole, first baseman, Rowdy Tellez. Let's go, baby. Kirby wheeling and dealing. And Brian Reynolds hasn't hurt us today. O'Neal Cruz, back, all the way to the wall. Stand-up double for O'Neal Cruz. Nice hit. And that's the second hit of the day. They have 2 errors and 2 hits. We have 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. So we're definitely taking advantage when we can. Next up is catcher Joey Bart. 7-0 Mariners. Yeah. Well, especially when they had the Oregon Duck player that unfortunately lost his life, with a DUI accident, not from him, being a drunk driver, but a drunk driver ending up hitting him and his friends. And so obviously there has been a big hole on the Vikings for a lot of their players on offense and defense, let alone the rookie, J.J. McCarthy, and a few others. I feel like the Vikings have been hit the hardest out of any team with unfortunate circumstances, with player death as well as season-ending injuries already, and the season hasn't even fucking started. Tough. Bottom of the fourth, 7-0, Mariners. Runner at second. One out. And Rowdy Tellez fouls that one back behind in the count, 0-1. Pitches outside, but called strike. 0-2 count from Kirby to Tellez. Yeah, Phillies have played very well against the Dodgers. Those are obviously the two definitely powerhouse teams there. But again, anything can happen. Once you get to the playoffs. All right, no worries, Kip. 0-2 pitch from Kirby to Tellez. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks like this rain is coming down in this Michigan race, which might be good for me because as this game continues to go on, and then I'll be able to watch that. And then we got Saints and Niners at 5, as well as the Packers and Broncos, even though it's preseason, something to watch. Tellez popped up. Nice catch. Throw back to second, and he is safe. 2 away. No dice there for Rowdy Tellez. Next up, the former Marlin left fielder, Brian De La Cruz. I like the way that George Kirby is wheeling and dealing today. Let's go. Keep it going, George. Pitch on the corner for a strike. Behind in the count, 0-1. Pitch from Kirby to De La Cruz. In there for a strike. Behind in the count, 0-2. Bottom of the fourth, 7-0. Mariners, baby. Yeah, if we actually look at the pitchers that we have going against the Dodgers, I like our chances. I mean, I know their bats are going to be hella better than us, and they're at home and we're on the road. But, if we can win a bare minimum of 1, that would be great. But if we win the first game, we're going to have a chance to win 2. I don't think you're going to see the Dodgers or the Mariners sweep. And obviously, if there was a team that was going to sweep, it would be the Dodgers against the Mariners. But if Woo has a lights-out game, we can win another game in that series. Like maybe game number 3 or maybe game number 2 and feed off that momentum, But if we lose against Woo, we might not win until that last game, or possibly win game number 2 and then lose game number 3. So when we get out of the inning there, end of the fourth, 7-0 Mariners. Go to the top of the fifth. We'll see who's up next here for the Mariners. And this feels good, man. For all those tough losses that we had, 5-game losing streak. I was telling Reflect and Justin this morning, I like this lineup. Even though we had no Randy Arozarena, we gave him a rest day as we get ready for the Dodgers. But Luke can play that position, and it worked out. It also is nice that we went against a pitcher that wasn't very good, and we made him pay early and often, and sometimes we don't. There's been pitchers that have like a 0-9 record, an ERA of like 11, and they still get like 10 Ks against us. So again, it feels good that we finally put it together. And even if the bullpen collapses a little bit in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, we should still be able to get the dub because we're up 7 right now, and it doesn't feel like we're done. We might be able to get to double digits if we're lucky. I'm hoping that we do. Next up for the Mariners, Justin Turner, 39 years old, the oldest positional player starter in baseball. You know what? I don't care. I like Big Red. I like Red Turn. I like JT. It was a great pickup for us. And he's a great, clubhouse guy. Positive vibes. And I loved him when he was on the Dodgers. Then he went to the Red Sox, then the Blue Jays. And I'm loving him here in Seattle, even at 39. Batting second, right fielder, Dominic Canzone. And batting third with a home run in the last inning, third baseman, Hollywood Josh Rojas. And if anyone needed to be able to get back on track with some electricity in the bat, it definitely is Hollywood Josh Rojas. He's been struggling mightily, and struggles in the box have kind of transferred over to struggles at defense. And normally he's known as a good defender. So it's kind of nice that he was able to get a couple hits today, including a home run, to get him mentally back on track. So looks like we still got rain there at Michigan for the NASCAR Cup Series. I'm not in the building. What's good? Top of the 5th, 7-0 Mariners. We have Ryan in the game. Ryder Ryan. Pitch right down the middle, popped up. One away. Top of the 5th, 7-0 Mariners. Next up, Dominic Canzone, another individual I would love for him to get going. Let's go, Dom. Another individual that needs to kind of get back on track. 0-1 pitch. At the knees for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. One pitch. Big swing and a miss by Dominic Canzone behind the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chopper towards first base and foul. Count remains 1-2. Mexico in the building. How are you, Anna? 1-2 pitch. Canzone crushes that one foul. Still behind in the count, 1-2. Top of the 5th, 7-0 Mariners. 5-game losing streak about to end, but we're not done. We want to make sure we're finishing strong. Pitch low at the knees. Cradled into the dirt by Bart. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we're at 25 likes. We need 5 more to get to 30 to hit the goal. Popped up. It's got the distance. It's going, gone! Dominic Canzone There we go. You ask and you shall receive. Obviously had a bad birthday a couple days ago against Skeens. Went for a diving catch. Hit him on the mitt. Hit him on the head. We lost the game. And Dom and Hollywood Rojas homer in the same game. Everything that I've been asking from the sports gods is coming true today. Hell yeah. Nice job, Dom. All right, we're at 26. 4 more to get to 30. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Hell yeah. Nice job, Dom. And Rojas and Dom, needed this more than anybody else on the team. So awesome to be able to see him get that solo jack. It's been a rough stretch for Rojas and Dom. And Dom's birthday was against Skeens, and so you got to think he was the one that went for that diving catch, hit him in the mitt, hit him in the head, and it ended up bringing in a few runs, and then we ultimately lost the game right after that. Shitty birthday. Not the most, ideal birthday, when you're playing against Skeens and you end up, fucking up there with that play, right? So nice for him. I said at the beginning of the broadcast, if he could homer today, that would be great. All the way back out into the outfield by Leo Rivas, 2 away. But sometimes the sports gods, they really do listen. And again, Dom was definitely deserving. Same thing of Hollywood Josh Rojas. And things are going good when you're getting guys like that homering today, as well as Cal Raleigh. And we haven't really been hitting a lot of home runs as of late. So to have an explosion of 3 different home runs today, it feels damn good. Top of the 5th, 8-0 Seattle. Let's go. And obviously Rojas was the one that just popped up to the outfield there for out number 2. Next up now is Leo Rivas. Drop some bunts down. Do whatever we need to do to keep it going. Well, we're going against a bad pitcher, and that was the reason why we ended up getting into that big lead. When we go against good pitchers, things are a little tough. Plus, our backs are against the wall, 5-game losing streak, and we got a 3-game road trip against the Dodgers starting tomorrow. So this was a must-win game. We're not going to be a team that's going to hit a bunch of home runs, Josh, game in and game out. But when you end up going against a pitcher who's 0-4, that's got an ERA of almost 6, if you can't beat a team like that, with that, pitcher starting, then, the season's over. Again, then you'll just lose to the Dodgers. You get swept by the Tigers, swept by the Pirates, swept by the Dodgers, probably get swept by the Giants, swept by the Rays, swept by the Angels, and it's done. So at some point, the bats need to come alive. And again, we weren't going to beat Skeens. So again, he's like the best pitcher in baseball as a righty, as a rookie. Chris Sale and Scooball are the 2 best as lefties. Little dribbler, throw to first. And that is out number 3, but the damage is done. But it just feels good that at least the bats came alive here today, and they should have. It's not like we were going against Skeens today, and we should have actually played better yesterday. But what can you do? We're not a very good morning team. And if you go back and look at the stats and the analytics, we're terrible. When we play in the morning at T-Mobile or in the morning on the road, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., the record isn't good. So for us to be able to have an outing like this is actually pretty nice, with all things considered. But we got a 3-game set against the Dodgers, and they're good enough to sweep us, right? So we got to make sure we get at least a dub to end the losing streak, so that if we start another one, it's not going to be like some crazy number where, the Seattle Mariners are on an 11-game losing streak, and then all of a sudden the Astros got like a 12-game lead on us, and then we're never going to catch up. So sometimes certain days everything just kind of comes together. So let's go. Plus, I've been a Mariner fan since '85. A lot of people that are Mariner fans have only been Mariner fans for 5 to 10 years. You don't understand what it's about to be a Mariner fan unless you've been a fan for a long period of time. I've been a fan for 39 years, and I've only seen 4 good seasons out of 39. So, take that in consideration. It's going to be, up and downs. But again, I feel from Cal, Julio, and George Kirby's rookie year, 2022, from 2022 to 2042, in that 20-year span, we're going to have more successful seasons than we did prior to the existence of the Mariners until now. So again, I've only had 4 good years out of almost 40, right? And I think now from 2022 to 2042, we'll probably have 12 really good years, and then maybe 8 ones where we miss the playoffs or we have injuries or whatnot. But we're going to have more good years in the next 20 than we've ever had in our team's existence. We got the pitching staff, we got the hitters, we got a good farm system. We got a pitcher in the draft this year that can pitch left or right in Tarangelo. So, again, you have to understand, we're not the Yankees. We're not the Dodgers. We're not going to be spending millions and millions of dollars, bringing in guys. We're going to have to do it unconventionally. And again, Stanton, DePoto, and Service all should get fired. But what can we do? The owner isn't going to get fired because it's the owner, right? DePoto obviously is deserving as well as Service to get fired, but they're probably not going to make that move until the end of the season. And even if they go to the end of the season and we make the playoffs, who knows? Maybe they have a pity party and they let them hang around for another year or two. So, bottom of the fifth, 8-0 Seattle. Lauren in the building. Thank you, man. 27. 3 more. I had a good feeling we were going to win today. I didn't know the bats would come alive like this, but I did predict Cal was homer today. 5 seconds later, he did it in the first inning. So sometimes, you need to be able to pull things together, and Mariners are playing great today. 0-2 pitch to Taylor. See you later. George Kirby wheeling and dealing, baby. Nice job, George. Nice fastball, 98 miles an hour for George Kirby. Down goes Michael Taylor on strikes. Next up, right fielder, a decent defender in right field, Ji-Hwan Bae. And yesterday, he had 2 amazing grabs that would have probably brought in 3 runs for us if he would have missed it. So, got to keep your eye on him, not necessarily in the box, but defensively. But right now, we're up 8-0, and it feels good. 3 more likes to get to 30. Let's get there. Pitches outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Appreciate you. Ji-Hwan Bae in the box. 2-0 pitch from Kirby to Bae. Pitches on the corner. Big swing and a miss. 2-1 count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Plus, as Mariner fans, we can only take so many losses in a row before we start fucking going insane. 5 losses in a row feels like 10, sometimes 15. It just feels like, gosh, is this ever going to end? And it's just nice that the streak is going to be ended, and hopefully we can start a new one. Not a losing streak, but again, Dodgers, Giants, Rays, and Angels are the next 4 teams we play. Obviously, Giants, Rays, and Angels will be a little bit more easy to win. Dodgers will be tough, but again, if we win Game 1 tomorrow against Brian Wu, we will have a chance to win 2 out of 3 against LA. Regardless if they have Mookie, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and Teoscar Hernandez, and even if we're in Dodger Stadium. 3-1 pitch. Chopper. Little flip to first by Kirby. 2 down. Yeah, my dad is kind of private, and he doesn't live in the same town as me. He lives about 45 minutes away. He doesn't have a good internet connection, where he lives, kind of in a farm area where there's like property and acres of like trees and, fruit trees, and there's deer running around in the backyard and whatnot. But, he was a teacher for, 40 plus years, and he's retired now. And obviously has been a long, long time Dodger fan since he was a kid, since the 50s. But it would be cool to be able to have him come over one day and just like hop on. But again, it's not really his thing. He's kind of like Santa. Like if you look at him, he kind of looks like Santa Claus. He's kind of quiet and soft-spoken, did a lot of English and humanities and yearbook and whatnot, hippie, Grateful Dead, Jimi Hendrix, obviously big Dodger fan and whatnot. But yeah, maybe it'll happen at some point, but he's living his best life, and we'll definitely be both watching the game. That's for sure. Bottom of the fifth, 8-0 Seattle. 2-0 pitch from Kirby to Triolo. 3-0 count. But I would love for him to be able to hop on. But I don't think it would really be something that he'd feel comfortable with being on camera. Some people are very familiar, and it's easy for them to be on camera. For me, I did phone sales, for big companies for like 20 years of my life. So I was very used to talking on the phone, with people of all ages, races. It didn't matter, when you're calling, big companies in Boston and New York, setting up companies for cable, internet, and phone, you get a lot of rude people. But again, if you can vibe with them it won't matter. And again, some people are meant to be on the mic and others just aren't. It's just not really for them. So, but I know my dad will be watching, and maybe I'll call him while I'm on stream or something. Usually I'll do that when the Dodgers play. And if the game was in Seattle, most of the time me and my dad will go to at least a game or 2 out of 3, But like when I got my Kike Hernandez ball a few years ago in like 2018, 2019, right before COVID, I got a Kike Hernandez foul ball in the first inning with my dad, and I predicted that I would end up getting a ball 10 years prior to that. I was like, if I got to slide past a grandma or a grandpa and get a ball, I will. And I kind of jokingly said that like 10 years before. And lo and behold, we go to the game, and in the first inning, I slide past a 90-year-old grandma and grandpa as I'm in seat number 3, and a guy in front of me with a ZZ Top beard drops the ball twice. I scoop it up. He hits me with a big body check from behind. My knees hit the steps. My knees bleed for 9 innings, but I ended up getting the ball. And that was a great memory that I have with me and my dad. Bottom of the 5th, 8-0 Seattle. Runner at first with 2 outs. Next up is Isaiah Kiner Falefa, former Yankee. But I've always had good luck, at baseball games. I got 2 Portland Beaver AAA baseballs when I was 10. Sprained my ankle for both of them. And that was the Minnesota Twins affiliate when they were with Kirby Puckett and they were World Series champs. And then obviously I've gotten 3 baseballs out of like 9 games that I've been to. And I've gotten pretty big names. Kike Hernandez on the Dodgers is probably the lowest name. Julio, in his rookie year, I got a foul ball against the Royals and Bobby Witt Jr. And then later on in that year in 2022, when Aaron Judge broke the home run record from Roger Maris, I ended up getting one of Aaron Judge's balls. So I would say I'm a little lucky, I guess. Popped up. Victor Robles is there, and that is out number 3. Let's go to the top of the 6th. Mariners are up 8-0. 8 hits, 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They have 0 runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. Let's go. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, here in the top of the 6th inning, 2 for 3 with a run and 2 RBIs, center fielder Victor Robles. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a K. DHing for the Mariners until that high ankle sprain gets better, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. I don't feel a home run today, but I do think there might be a chance in either the Dodgers series, but probably the Giants series would be more likely. But you never know. Hopefully Julio can bring the bat in LA. And batting third, hitting a home run and being the man, big dumper, 1 for 3 with a run and 2 RBIs, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. Can you hit 2 home runs in a game? You're one of the only players on the Mariners that can. Let's go, big dumper. Trident's up. Bring that electricity, baby. Let's go. Top of the 6th, 8-0 Mariners. We're 3 likes away from 30 of hitting the goal for the stream. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Thank you so much to whoever that was. Now we're at 28. Thank you for Lauren as well. We need 2 more to get to 30, and then we'll end up hitting the goal. So thank you so much. And then we're at 10 on the donos, 90 to go to hit the goal there. 8-0 Mariners. Looks like this Michigan race is still rained out, I believe. We're waiting for them to clear up the track, and hopefully we'll be racing here pretty soon. Victor Robles from Ryan. Ryder Ryan. 1-0 count. Let's go, Victor. Definitely earned the 2-year extension, and I'm happy that he found a home in Seattle. Sometimes you got to get away from a dysfunctional team like the Nationals, the Nats, and then to be able to come somewhere where you could be really used properly and having a change of scenery is not only good for people in jobs, but also on sports teams. And sometimes you're just in a place where it's just not a good vibe. And I think he's found, I don't want to say he's found his forever home, but I'll tell you what, if he ends up playing like he has this year in the next 2 years, they'll give him another deal, and maybe he'll end up being a Seattle Mariner for life, and that would be dope. I wouldn't mind that one bit. He definitely has kept us afloat since Julio has had the injury. It's the best player that we could have attained, at that time before the trade deadline for Julio Rodriguez in center field. So very happy. And we can always move him to right field after Julio's healthy, and then we'll have Randy Arozarena in left, Julio in center, and then Victor Robles in right to actually have one of the best trios in the no-fly zone in the MLB. Yeah. Well, a lot of the people on the radio stations are not the brightest. I hear people on KJR and these things that hop onto my on my feed, people just being negative. It's easy to be negative about the Mariners just based on, their history and typically how they play. And obviously Stanton and Dipoto and Service don't make it any easier to be able to believe in this team necessarily long term. But again, it all depends on how much of a fan you are and if you've been watching for a long period of time, And again, we're in a period of the team where in the next 20 years, we're going to have more wins, more winning seasons than we ever have in our team's history. You just got to be patient, and a lot of Mariner fans don't have the patience, and it shows. If you've only been a fan of the team for a couple years and you think it's bad, you have no idea. Imagine being a fan since, the late 70s or the mid 80s. I've been a fan for 39 years. I've seen 4 good seasons. And I still treat the team as if they've been going to the playoffs. We missed it for 20 years, but I act and treat the team as if they went 20 years straight. Just because we've had a rough patch doesn't mean things can't get better. Farm system is good. Pitching staff is great. We got a lot of quality players. We just need to find the right combination of the hitters. Get rid of guys, like Polo and Garv and not waste money there. Should have used that money for a 6th inning pitcher and a 7th inning pitcher. Would have helped us out more. And then bring up the guys in the farm system. Lazaro Montes, Harry Ford, Colt Emerson, Cole Young, line drive to third, 2 away. And it's going to be really exciting to see, the young guys come up because some of those young guys are going to take spots of some of the others. So that means guys like Demo, Hollywood Rojas, some of these guys, Jorge Polanco, maybe your job is in jeopardy a little bit. But again, we just want the best players to be playing. And once we get Cole Young, Colt Emerson, Harry Ford, man, it's going to be exciting, as well as Durangelo being that pitcher that can pitch left and right. Popped up, Ryder, and Cal pops up to center field. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 8-0 Seattle. Let's see who's up next here for the Pirates. Cal Raleigh flied out to center, and that's okay. He was already due for a home run. And speaking of a guy that's due for a play at some point, the guy that I put on the thumb, arguably the best player on the team, Brian Reynolds. Very underrated. I don't think people really realize how good he is. But when you lead the team in batting average and hits, RBIs, home runs, and most of the statistical categories, when you end up seeing an ESPN preview page and it's got the same name 3 times, stacked up on each other, chances are that's a guy that's really holding it down for that particular team, right? He's 0 for 2 with a K. Let's see what Brian Reynolds can do here at this at-bat. Batting second in the 3-hole, playing shortstop, O'Neal Cruz. Kind of like his game, tall lefty. Not going to be productive every game. Today he's 1 for 2 with a K, but I do like him. I feel he's undervalued and a little underrated. And batting third, the catcher, 0 for 2, Joey Bart. Let's go Mariners. And is George Kirby still in the game? He should be. He's only 76 pitches in. Let's take a look at George and his stat line, which is immaculate, impeccable, and amazing. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Nice job. And again, we don't really get 8, 9, 10 Ks anymore. It's usually 4 to 7. But if you get 4 to 7 Ks and you have an 8-0 lead, no one gives a shit, right? A dub is a dub. Bullpen ERA for the Mariners, 25th out of 30 teams. We have an ERA of 5 with our bullpen, which is bottom 5. Not good. Orioles, Phillies, Red Sox are worse than us, but still. And those are all like playoff teams. Got to have a good bullpen. Invest in the bullpen. Stop getting players like Polanco and Garv, and use that money, as a starting pitching. And even if the guys don't start for us, you could have extra starters, right, that could end up, being a 6th inning guy like a Matt Brash or a 7th inning guy. I think that's where the disconnect is. Stop getting positional players. We have plenty of those in the farm. Let's go for pitchers, obviously in free agency, and try to add that to the starting, obviously staff. And if we already got our main guys that we're comfortable with, whether that's Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian Wu, Luis Castillo, and Bryce Miller, fine. But you can always get a couple more, and then they can be bullpen guys, and that'll make our team even better. ERA of 5 since the All-Star break in the bullpen is shit. Throw to first, and that is 1 dime. 0 for 3 day for Brian Reynolds. Next up, shortstop, O'Neal Cruz. Let's go Mariners. Oh, I got it all. Do-rag, hat, jersey. Yeah. I'm suited and booted, man, always. Wins, losses, doesn't matter. I'm always going to be repping, Someone's got to rep the Mariners on YouTube properly, and most content creators for the Mariners overall on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, wherever, Twitter/X are way too negative, And again, it's like, if you just want to bitch and moan and complain, and that's something that people want, you're not going to get it here. We're going to try to be as optimistic. Now, we're going to call a spade, and we're going to complain when we need to complain, but we're not going to beat a dead horse and just keep, being negative. At some point, that rubs off, on other people, and we want to make sure we're as positive as possible, even with, obviously dire circumstances, and sometimes things are really bad, like when we're on a 5-game losing streak. But again, you just have to be able to look at the bright side of things, and hope that things will turn around. And this team is too good to miss the playoffs. Facts. 3-1 pitch to O'Neal Cruz, chopper towards left field, and a nice base knock for O'Neal Cruz. I like what O'Neal Cruz provides for the Pirates. Kiner Falefa, after he left the Yankees, is showing his value. He's underrated. Brian Reynolds is a stud for this team, and I like O'Neal Cruz. So those first 3 guys in the lineup, they may not be popular names, very underrated. And I do like Rowdy Tellez as well, and they picked up De La Cruz from the Marlins. So next up, catcher in the cleanup hitter spot, 0 for 2, Joey Bart. Yeah, and a lot of Mariner fans, overreact. It's like, this is a 162-game season. A lot of these Mariner fans that are bitching and moaning are complaining like we're 20 games below 500. And it's like the end of the world. We're still above 500. Yeah, we're not in first place anymore, like 4 games back of the Astros, but that doesn't mean that we can't catch up, before the game, the season is up. It's a long year. People are very short-minded, when they think about the Mariners. They don't think long-term. They think very like what's in front of them right now. Uh-oh. Bart, back, gone! 2-run blast by Joey Bart. Yeah, but a lot of Mariner fans, they claim they're Mariner fans, act like we're the White Sox or the A's, and we're not. So nice blast by Joey Bart to get them on the board. 8-2. Pirates. Next up, first baseman, Rowdy Tellez. I got Joey Logano still talking on the mic here on USA as we're waiting for the race to start. Too much rain there at Michigan, and I'll be watching that after this game is over. Maybe watch a little bit of Packers and Broncos for Bo Nix, and a little Saints Niners at 5 as well. Yeah, I agree. We're not the Chicago White Sox, man. It could be a hell of a lot worse. in the box, Rowdy Tellez. Pitch into the dirt. Wild swing by Tellez. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the 6th, 8-2, Seattle. That one chopped towards first base, foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we gained 3 subs today, which is great. Tellez popped up a mile. 3 Mariners converging on the play and caught, baby. Hell yeah. JT red turn with the catch. Fuck yeah. And if you haven't subbed to the channel yet and you are a watcher, we're 11 away from 20,400. So if you want to be able to help out on that end, that would be great. All right, I'll catch you tomorrow. Dodgers. 7 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Be here. I'll grind it out. No problem. Have a great day, Lauren. Go Mariners. Next up, Brian De La Cruz. Pitch on the corner for a strike. 0-1 count. The former Marlin. And I thought that Brent Rooker and Brian De La Cruz would make great Mariners if they were interested. They would fit the billing of what we were looking for. But we ended up getting Randy Arozarena, who's better than De La Cruz. So I like that. And then we ended up getting Justin Turner. And Brent Rooker wasn't even available. But I thought as far as like a lower name player, those two would be better than, you know, wasting all our farm on Pete Alonso or Bo Bichette or Vlad Jr. So I'm glad that we didn't go that route. And it kind of sounds like a lot of the big name players weren't really available. You know, it was just kind of like a teaser, or they wanted too much for those guys. Cody Bellinger, you know, Pete Alonso. Obviously, getting Vlad would have been amazing, but I wouldn't want to give up 3 or 4 farm guys that could be starters in like a year for him, you know. So we got to look at our future, not just this year. And even if we would have grabbed Vlad this year, it's not like that was going to make the difference and we were going to make it to the World Series because we got Vlad. Hell, we probably wouldn't even be able to make it to the ALCS if we got Vlad. So with all the problems that we've had. So I think the Mariners were smart. And normally that's not a word I use with the Mariners as smart with Dipoto and Service. Usually it's stupid, dumb, moronic, idiotic, right? You know, and both of those guys deserve to be canned, but they did a good job at the trade deadline this year. But in, you know, obviously in the off season, you know, paying 10, 11 million a year for Polo and Garver, that was fucking stupid. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Nice punch out. 5th K by George Kirby. And we still got, you know, other guys that can come in like Tyler Locklear, Ryan Bliss, let alone Lazaro Montes, Harry Ford, Colt Emerson, Cole Young, you know, Durangelo. Obviously, we're going to develop him. I mean, I'm so excited about the future of this team. Let's go, baby. End of the 6th. Let's see who's up next here. 8-2 Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with an RBI and a K, left fielder Luke Raley. Batting second, 0 for 3 with 2 K, second baseman Jorge Polanco. And batting third, 1 for 3, first baseman Justin Turner. I'm going to use the restroom here real quick. All right, I'm back. Next up for the Mariners, Luke Raley here in the top of the 7th. Big swing and a miss. Line the count 0-1. 11 subs away from 20,400. Making some ground. I like that. Oh, 1 pitch from Ryan to Raley. Pitches inside at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. I like Luke Raley's effort, hustling. Always hustling on every single play that he does. 1-1 pitch. On the corner for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Little dribbler there. There we go. Playing for Randy Arasarina today. And I figured he'd get 2 hits today. And there it is. Nice job, Luke. Hell yeah, baby. 11-hit day for the Seattle Mariners. Good day for being a Seattle Mariner fan. 2 for 3 today, replacing Randy in the lineup as we give him a breather as we go to LA tomorrow. Hell yeah. Nice job, Luke. Great job. Next up, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Jorge. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Polo. There we go. Run, 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 baby. Hell yeah. Polo with a nice base knock there. Nice job, Polo. Next up, first baseman, Justin Turner. Looks like we're starting to get racing here for the NASCAR Cup Series as well. Hell yeah, let's go. There we go. Finally, we are racing, baby. Or is that last week's race? Oh, are they showing last week's race because the rain is too much? I think that's what they're doing. Wow, the rain must have been so bad there. Oh, they're showing Richmond again. Stolen bag by Demo. There we go. I got excited there, thoughting that the Michigan race was going to start, but I guess not. And they're showing yesterday or last week's Richmond race. I don't know when they're going to be ready. Demo with that stolen bag. Nice job, Demo. Uh-oh. And Justin Turner just got hit by a pitch. We got bases loaded. Here we go. Yes, sir. Bases loaded with no outs, and we're up 8-2. Next up, Dominic Canzone. Get the mustard and rye bread. Grand salami time. Let's go. One count to Dominic Canzone. Go Dom. And again, I had a feeling that Dom could make up for his birthday performance. Rojas ended up doing the job. Luke did his job. Predicted Cal would hit a home run today. He did. Everything that has been predicted has come true today. So I'm glad that we're wheeling and dealing. Double play. Got him. A run scores. We go up 9-2. Luke Raley comes home. Canzone grounded out into a double play. Shortstop to first. Raley scored. Turner out at second and Moore to third. Top of the 7th, 9-2 Mariners. Now we got a runner at third with 2 outs. We still got an opportunity to get one more home. Next up, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. 2 for 3 with 2 runs and RBI. Home run today as well. Canzone, Rojas, and Big Dumper with homers. And it feels good. See if we can get another one here. See if we can get to double digits in the scoreboard. Next up is Hollywood Josh Rojas. Let's go, Hollywood. Top of the 7th, 9-2 Mariners. Runner at third. Pitches outside by Ryan. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, definitely needed this for our mental health for sure, Mariner fans. Pitches outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Three-0 pitch from Ryan to Rojas, and that's a walk. There we go. We'll take that. Rojas to first. Next up, shortstop, Leo Rivas. Go, Leo. Pitch right down the middle for a strike to Rivas. 0-1 count. One pitch. Pitch on the corner for a strike. Inside at the knees. Behind in the count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Let's go, Rivas. Let's go, Leo. 0-2 pitch. Pitch into the dirt. Bart smothers that baseball into the dirt to prevent anybody moving over from first to second there. Top of the 7th, 9-2 Mariners. Runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. 1-2 count from Ryan to Rivas, and Ryan is 42 pitches in. Let's go, Rivas. Let's go, baby. 1-2 pitch. Rivas. There we go. Rivas brings in another one home. Demo comes home, and we hit double digits, baby. 10-2 Mariners. There we go. Second hit today for Leo Rivas. Everyone's contributing today. Next up, center fielder, 2 for 4, Victor Robles. A run, 2 RBIs, and a K. Let's go, Victor. And Ryan's day is done. We've been able to beat up every pitcher that has come in for Pittsburgh and prevent the sweep. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Let's go, baby. Feels good, dude. You know, after having 5 games of getting our ass kicked, you know, mental health for Mariner fans has not been good, but it feels good today. And all those losses are forgotten, and we can move forward now to the Dodgers series. And then after that, the Giants, the Rays, and the Angels. And speaking of mental health, you know, a lot of people are going through addiction, depression, anxiety. If you feel like you're slipping into the darkness a little bit, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine to get back on track. If you're not exercising, get outside and exercise. If you're not eating healthy and you're eating too much fast food, you know, the way the economy is breaking down right now, you can eat healthy. It used to be you can go to Taco Bell, McDonald's because it was cheap, but it's about the same price to eat healthy now. Everything has gone up. A burger meal is no longer $5. It's like 10 to 15. So if you can end up exercising a little bit more, eating a little bit healthier, listening to 30 minutes of music every single day, spending time with pets, friends, and family, you can get back on track a little bit quicker and you can win the day. Just like the Mariners are doing right now. 10-2 Mariners. Let's go. Top of the 7th. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. We got an 8-run lead. Next up, our stud, Victor Robles. And they're going to their 3rd pitcher here today, going from Woodford to Ryan. And I believe they're going to be bringing in Heller. Heller has got an ERA of almost 17. So hopefully we can end up getting a few more runs on Heller. mean, if they keep going like this, they might even have a positional player having the pitch. We'll see. But I think they got enough in the bullpen. They haven't really had to use the bullpen at all in the first 2 games, especially with Skeens on the mound. So hopefully Heller struggles as well. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We're trying to get to 30 before the stream ends. Where are we at now? Take a quick peek. We're at 29. We need 1 more like to hit 30. If you haven't smashed the like button, thank you so much. We're at 30. 5 more to get to 35. 10 more to get to 40 before the stream ends. Thank you so much. We're at 30. 5 more for 35. And we're at 10 on the dono goal. 90 to go. Top of the 7th, 10-2 Seattle. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Heller on the mound. Victor Robles in the box. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. We're 11 subs away from 20,400. We gained 3 in the stream today. So salute to anybody that has been watching for either a long period of time or even a short period of time. We do appreciate everybody showing that love and support to the NWSF. Top of the 7th, 10-2 Seattle. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Pitch right down the middle to Victor Robles from Heller. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's go, Victor. Bring that electricity, baby. And you walked him, baby. There we go. Base is loaded. All right, Julio, base is loaded. And normally Julio isn't type of a guy that hits a grand salami, but you never know. You know, he doesn't really have all the power in his legs, but could this be an opportunity to go up 14-2 with 1 swing of the bat, get the mustard and rye bread, tridents up? Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, baby. Takes a first pitch strike down the middle, behind the count 0-1. Let's go, Julio. And it's probably more likely for Julio to get a single, you know, or an RBI, you know, here. But obviously pop-ups and ground outs are kind of a regular thing for Julio. But he has been better since his debut coming off the IL. And when he DH'd in that first game, he went 0 for 5. But since then, he's gotten at least 1 hit in every game since he's been a DH individual. So let's see if he can keep the streak going. He's already 1 for 4 today. Can he end up being 2 for 5? Let's go. 0-2 pitch from Heller to Julio. Pitch is low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Base is loaded with 2 outs. Let's go, Julio. One-two pitch to Julio Rodriguez. Chops that one. Foul. Count remains 1-2. One-two pitch. Julio pops up. Should be a routine play here in center field for Taylor. And we leave bases loaded, stranded, but the damage has already been done, and we're up 10-2. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning and see who's up here for Pittsburgh. Next up for the Pirates, 0 for 2 with 2K, center fielder that made that out on Julio, Michael Taylor. Batting second in the 8-hole, 1 for 2, right fielder, G. Juan Bay. And batting third, 0 for 0 with 2 base on balls, third baseman in the 9-hole, Jared Triolo. Let's go Mariners. This feels good. 10-2, baby. 5-game losing streak over. All right, George Kirby, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 97 pitches. Magnificent. And really the only blemish was the 2-run blast. And other than that, that was it. And that was by Bart with Cruz scoring as well to make it 8-2 at that point. And we're bringing in Colin Snyder. Hopefully he doesn't fuck it up. Our bullpen has been bottom 5. Since the trade deadline all-star break time period, 25th out of 30 teams, but all the teams that are below us are all playoff teams, and they have been struggling as well. Orioles bullpen, Red Sox bullpen, and a few others. So it's not just us, but again, bullpen is so important. I did not see a lot of the Pittsburgh and Bills game. I usually bounce around and try to watch as many as I can. Depending on what I got doing with Paisley and whatnot. But, usually, I'll try to watch a little bit here and there, but I'm not usually watching like full games. I watch a little bit of the Bucks and the Jags. But again, normally, preseason, you're not getting a lot of the starters, some of the rookies, a lot of the backups, and, a lot of the bad teams end up being the good teams in preseason just because they're not playing their starters. But every once in a while, you'll end up getting a good performance from a good team. So, I saw the behind the back Mahomes, to Travis Kelce, which was kind of cool. We'll probably see him do that in a regular season game at some point. And what can Mahomes not do? He can do it all. Bottom of the 7th, 10-2 Mariners. Little dribbler. Rojas is there. Throw to first. 1 away. Michael Taylor, Don. 1 away. Next up, right fielder, Ji-hwan Bae. 1 for 2. Made a couple plays in the outfield the last few games to save some runs for the Pittsburgh Pirates against Seattle. But not really a big threat in the box, but we'll see what Bae could do here. Daniel in the building. What's good? Oh, yeah. O-line stinks, and both quarterbacks aren't good, whether it's Russ or Justin. I would assume that they will have a very good chance of finishing last in the division. But you never know. It's all about injuries. If Burrow can stay healthy for the full year with Lamar, you would assume that those teams will be towards the top, but you never know. And then the Cleveland Browns got a good defense, but their offense with Deshaun Watson sometimes is a little suspect, And they obviously had Flacco last year, but they don't have him anymore. They have Jameis Winston, so obviously he's a turnover machine. So we don't really know what's going to happen, but you would assume the Ravens and Bengals would be at the top. Browns, in second or third, and then Pittsburgh, even though they've had a good winning percentage under Mike Tomlin, above 500, pretty much for the last bajillion years. This might be the year where Pittsburgh actually has a below 500 record. Maybe they have a 8-9 record or something like that. So. But they definitely look like the worst team out of the 4. Even with the Browns offense being kind of, hit or miss, I feel like the Browns are better than them, but we'll see where it goes. Bottom of the 7th, 10-2 Seattle. They all thought they were going to win Super Bowls with Kenny Pickett, and I told them no, but, people love to argue. Back. Wow, Luke Raley with one of the catches of the year. Wow. Willie Mays-like. Luke Raley. Unbelievable. Wow. They can't believe it. Luke. Nice catch as he falls down into the dirt by the wall. Hell yeah. 2 away. Next up, third baseman Jared Triolo. First pitch is inside from Snyder to Triolo. 1 ball and no strikes. Chopper up the middle. Leo to first. 1, 2, 3 inning, baby. All right, let's go to the 8th inning. We got a nice 8-run lead, and the bullpen didn't fuck it up right there. Nice job by Colin Snyder. I mean, a lot of times we're ripping into the bullpen because they stink. Bottom 5 in the MLB. 25th out of 30 teams have average about 5 runs, ERA of 5 in the bullpen, which is not good. And hopefully we'll be a little bit better as the season goes along. All right, let's go to the top of the 8th and see who's up for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh. 1 for 4 with a run with 2 RBIs. And again, I had a feeling that he would go yard today. He did to give us that early 2-0 lead, and we haven't looked back since. Trident's up. Batting second, 2 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a K, filling in for Randy Arosarena. And not only is Luke doing it offensively, he's also doing it defensively. Nice job, Nuke Rayleigh. And batting third was going to be Jorge Polanco, but hasn't had a really good day today, so they brought in Dylan Moore. Let's go. Let's go, Demo. All right, we're 5 likes away from 35. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We're at 31 now. Thank you so much. 4 more to get to 35. 9 more to hit the goal for 40 for the stream if we can get there. We got 2 innings to go. And we're at 10 on the dono train. 90 to go to hit that goal as well. Yeah, but also it's preseason, Captain Oreo. So again, regular season compared to, preseason, a lot of backups are in there. So you can't really fully judge it, but there's a reason why Chicago moved on from Justin Fields and got Caleb Williams. And we've seen Caleb, make some big plays with his legs and his arm. And he's going to go through some growing pains as well. But based on what I've seen, it looks like, Bo Nix, Caleb, Michael Penix Jr., those should probably be your 3 best quarterbacks in this draft class. J.J. McCarthy, I don't really believe him. And Drake May doesn't have enough around him in New England to be fully successful right away. So, and obviously we know Michael Penix Jr. will be sitting behind Kirk Cousins, who knows how long. It might be for half of the season if Cousins gets hurt, or he might be on the bench for a couple seasons, just like we saw Jordan Love with Aaron Rodgers. But I definitely believe in Penix in Atlanta, Bo Nix in Denver, as well as Caleb in Chicago. But there are going to be some growing pains for those guys. Big dumper, swing and a miss as Heller gets him to swing at that pitch down into the dirt. 1 away. That's all right, Cal. You hit the home run early to get us going, so no big deal. Next up, left fielder Luke Rayleigh. Let's go, Luke. Pitches outside from Heller to Rayleigh. 1-0 count. Top of the 8th. We're up by 8, baby. Let's go. Oh, hit Luke Rayleigh on the knee, and he goes to first. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like he is. Good day for Luke Rayleigh. Especially, playing in the Randy Arosarena, spot there in left field. Giving Randy a day off as we get ready for the Dodgers. Next up, third baseman, Dylan Moore. So he'll be playing second base for Polo now. All the way to left field, easy out. 2 away. Next up, first baseman Justin Turner. Dodgers for 3. Then we got Giants for 2, Rays for 3, Angels for a few there. Then we got the A's, and then we got the Cardinals. Oh, baby. I mean, there's not a lot of teams on there that really strike fear in us besides the Dodgers. I mean, the Giants, the Rays, the Angels. I mean, those are winnable. We just got to get the job done. Let's go, JT. 1 for 3 for Justin Turner. Turner popped up into center field to Michael Taylor, and that is the end of the top of the 8th. We leave 1 stranded, but we're up by 8, so it's all good, baby. 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for Pittsburgh. Thank God we're on that end of the scoreboard today. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. See if Pittsburgh has anything left. See if they can get close to 4-5 before the game is up. Next up for the Pirates, 0 for 3, second baseman Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the former Yankee. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a K, DHing for Pittsburgh, Brian Reynolds. And batting third, having himself a good day, 2 for 3 with a run and a K, shortstop today, O'Neal Cruz. Let's go Mariners. Here's an interesting stat that Mariners PR just came out with. Oreo, Colin Snyder, 1.08 ERA, 3 earned runs and 25 innings pitched. This season is actually second best in Major League Baseball, minimum of 20 games, trailing only the elite Emmanuel Clase. His ERA is 0.64. And we're talking about guys that could win a Cy Young. Emmanuel Clase, normally you're not going to get like a reliever that wins the Cy Young, but if you actually look at the numbers, we already know that Skubal is great, right? Chris Sale is great. Skeens is great, but Emmanuel Clase, as far as, being like a closer, he's putting up numbers like Mariano Rivera. It's wild. I don't think it's hit or miss. Like I said, I follow, every single team as if they were my own. You got a new coach, but the thing is that the message was kind of going in one ear, out the other with Carroll. McDonald is, a guy that, beefed up that Ravens defense and is trying to build that there in Seattle. So if the Niners win the division, the Cardinals will be last place. You just have to get past the Rams, and you might be pretty close to them. But it's not crazy to think that the Seahawks can't win 9, 10, 11, 12 games. It's possible. I would say probably, 9 wins, if things don't go the greatest, But again, 10 to 12 wins could happen for Seattle. They could go 10-7 and get the wild card, and the Niners could end up winning somewhere between 10 and 14. And then as long as you get into the dance, anything can happen. But they should be able to beat out the Rams, you would think. There's no Aaron Donald there, but there's still a work in progress on the offensive line, even though they picked up Connor Williams. Defense, obviously with Byron, he looks like he might be the next Sapp or Aaron Donald type. I like him. But again, there's still some holes on the O-line and the defense, and we'll see where it goes. But I think Seattle could make the playoffs. Nice base knock in the right field. Pinch hit double by Williams. Double to right. Yeah, but the 49ers have more depth, though. You got to think, they got quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. You got to think the Niners, right now, as well as the Detroit Lions, those got to be the 2 favored teams in the NFC. And there's going to be other teams that will play well that will join those 2. But I don't see any teams that are better right now than those 2. Based on how they played last year, what they did in the draft, what they have right now, and then obviously going into the regular season. So I try to treat every team as, with no bias. I just call it how I see it. Detroit is getting better and better. If they can figure out their defense and they actually get a defense, that'll be the day that Detroit ends up, making, not only the NFC Championship game, but they can make the Super Bowl. They may not win it if they go against like Mahomes. If they play anybody but Mahomes, they can probably win. But Detroit still has some holes on defense. And hell, they had no defense last year, and they almost beat the Niners, to make it to the Super Bowl. So, the Lions are getting very close with Jared Goff in that offense. Bottom of the 8th with 1 out. Next up, O'Neal Cruz. But, Gino, right? Kenneth Walker III, DK, JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Tyler Lockett. Really, you need a tight end. You haven't really ever had a tight end that was good in Seattle. Offensive line needs work, and then you got to get more defensive pieces. And then once you start filling those pieces, that's when Seattle will eventually take over as the number one team, But again, it may take a couple years. Unless the Niners have some significant season-ending injuries, like if Purdy and, George Kittle go down, or Bosa, then, yeah, you might be able to beat them, 11 games to 10 or 12 games to 11. But if they don't have any big injuries, I'm not sure if Seattle will be able to get past 49ers for first place, but both of them could make the playoffs. And they should. You would think Seattle's got a better team than Los Angeles for the Rams. No Aaron Donald, but you still got McVay. You still got Cooper Kupp. You got Puka, Nakua. I mean, Kyron Williams. You still got ballers on the Rams. But the defense isn't as good as it was, especially with no Aaron Donald. Bottom of the 8th, 10-2 Seattle. Runner at second with 1 out. 3-1 count from Austin Voth to O'Neal Cruz. Cruz, line drive, throw to first, got him. Nice job, Demo, taking over for Polo. He's like, I got it. Nice job. Great defensive play there by Demo. Next up, 1 for 3 with a run and 2 RBIs, catcher Joey Bart. And Joey Bart homered to center 430 feet with Cruz on board in the, what inning was that? Was that in the 6th? I believe that was in the 6th inning. Wild pitch. And there comes an easy run home from third. 10-3 Mariners. Come on, both, you garbage ass. Jesus Christ. Why did we get rid of Snyder? Should have had Snyder keep going. Both, you're garbage. Jesus Christ. Giving them a freebie right there. Bottom of the 8th, 10-3 Seattle. 2 outs, 1-0 count from both to Joey Bart. Bart crushes that one foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, both gets out of the inning finally. Go to the top of the 9th, 10-3 Mariners. Let's go, baby. See if we can add on a little bit or if we're already satisfied with this dub. Kind of feels like this might be the final score, but we'll see. Next up for the Mariners in the top of the 9th. 1 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Right fielder Dominic Canzone has had a good game today. Love seeing him go yard. Next up, playing third base, 2 for 3. 2 runs, RBI, and a base on ball with a home run as well. Hollywood Josh Rojas. And batting third in the 9 hole, 2 for 3 with 2 runs, RBI, and a base on ball, Leo Rivas. A pretty productive day for the Mariners. Victor Robles, 2 for 4. Julio, 1 for 5. Cal, 1 for 5. Rayleigh, 2 for 3. Polo, 1 for 4. Turner, 1 for 4. Canzone, 1 for 4. Rojas, 2 for 3. Rivas, 2 for 3. So literally everyone in the starting lineup got at least one hit. A couple guys went 1 for 5, Julio and Cal, but Cal ended up hitting a home run with his one hit. So, I mean, it's all good. And that's something that you don't typically see with the Mariners. Let's go, baby. All right, we need 5 more likes to be able to get to 35. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We're at 30, and we're looking for 35 to 40 before the game ends, if possible. All right, we got Brian Wu, 5-1 with a 2.06 ERA versus Gavin Stone, 10-5 record, 3.63 ERA. And then Bryce Miller against Walker Buehler, but Buehler is only 1-4, Miller 9-7. And then Wednesday's Logan Gilbert versus Jack Flaherty. And I like our chances in every game, to be honest. Wu can, match up with Stone. Miller has been playing better than Buehler this year. And Logan Gilbert always has a chance, if he brings it. So I like our chances. I know it's going to be tough, but who knows? Maybe the sports gods will be on our side, and maybe this game will spark a little momentum, and, maybe we can, win 2 out of 3. I don't expect us to sweep LA. If anyone was going to sweep, it would be them against us, but 1 out of 3 is bare minimum, but hopefully if we win game 1 with Brian Wu, maybe we can win, either the Bryce Miller game number 2 against Buehler, who's struggling, or maybe game number 3 with Logan Gilbert against Flaherty. So I like our chances. I don't feel that we're unmatched on the pitching side, but obviously, when you got Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, and Teoscar Hernandez, that's a problem. And you might lose just based off those 4 guys. So, yeah. Top of the 9th, 10-3 Mariners. Pitches outside from Beeks, the dominant Canzone. 2 balls and 1 strike. But our 5-game losing streak is about to end, and it feels so good, for Mariner fans' mental health moving forward, especially with the Dodgers starting tomorrow. Canzone! Oh, what a catch! Barely on the glove. That would have been a stand-up double, maybe even a triple for Dom, and that was a hell of a catch by Michael Taylor. Hell. The outfield for the Pittsburgh Pirates with Michael Taylor in center and G1 Bay in right, man, they made some amazing plays out there in the outfield. I guess they have their own no-fly zone, huh? Wow. Okay. Next up is Hollywood Josh Rojas, probably the player that has been struggling the most, not named Mitch Garver. But we've already kind of given up on Garv. But as far as like Rojas and some of the others, we haven't. We just want him to be able to get back on track in the box, so that way his defense ends up being good, because his defense has been kind of shitty the last few games. In one game he almost had like 4 errors. So as long as he can get his confidence back in the box, that'll translate to better defense as well. And it's nice to be able to see Rojas go yard today. I know that he needed that. Same thing with Dom, and we got a home run out of Cal early on. So we haven't really been a team that hits a lot of home runs, but 3 home runs today, I'll take it. Top of the 9th, 10-3 Mariners. Nobody on, 1 out, 1-2 pitch, and a big swing and a miss by Hollywood Josh Rojas from Beats. 2 away. And next up, shortstop, Leo Rivas. Can't wait for J.P. Crawford to come back, but Rivas has done okay since he's been put in that role. We miss you, J.P. The Crawdaddy popped up. Should be a routine play to left field. And there it is. And now we're going to the bottom of the 9th, up by 7. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, imagine if we didn't hit this well and the game was like, 3-3. Like, would we actually be able to come and win this game at this point? Maybe not. So thank God we got those runs early and often. 2-run blast by Joey Bart. and then a cheap one with a wild pitch, and the runner scored from, third. But it seems like every other team, it's easy for them to get 3, 4, 5 runs. But for us, it's like pulling teeth unless we get runs and hits early in the game, and then we can stack on those, stacks on stacks. But we'll see where it goes. Last opportunity here for the Pirates. Next up for Pittsburgh, 0 for 3, first baseman, Rowdy Tellez. Batting second, left fielder, Brian De La Cruz. And I believe they're going to take out Michael Taylor and put in someone else. So we'll find out here in a second. Or maybe they'll keep him in. We'll see. Oh, what a day. Should be early September. September 2nd is when the calendar has been circled, but they got to make sure that the pinky is 100% healed. We don't want to rush him back, too soon, and then he re-aggravates it, and then we don't have him at all for the rest of the season. So we're still a couple weeks away, but right now it looks like September 2nd is still the day that we're looking at. So still about 2 weeks away. And that might be the shot in the arm that we need for momentum and just good vibes, because I feel that, if we can have him in the lineup and less, of some of the other guys, playing shortstop, and he can get back to his normal position, hit a, occasional unexpected home run, singles, doubles, end up, giving us some good defense. Obviously JP is a well-rounded player, one of our best two-way players besides Julio, offensively and defensively. We want to make sure that we get everyone back, and we've definitely missed him, not only offensively but defensively, and just in the in the clubhouse, in the dugout. He's there, but him playing as a player, that vibe is a little different. So, and he's got probably one of the best personalities on the team overall. If you've ever seen JP do an interview, for the Mariners, he is such a down-to-earth, chill dude. Out of all the guys on the Mariners, we already know Julio's the most popular. But JP seems like he'd be like one of the coolest to hang out with, not just like go have a beer with or hang out. Like, he just seems like an overall chill dude. 1-1 pitch to Taylor. Rojas is there and 1 away. Taylor on the mound, baby. Let's go. Tellez popped out to third from Taylor. Oh, we got Connor Joe coming up. Popped up. And Victor Robles is there. As I say, as soon as I bring up the photo of Connor Joe, it's already over. Fly out to center. We're 1 out away from winning this game, baby. And last up, center fielder Michael Taylor. 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. And let's see if Taylor can strike out Taylor. Taylor gang. And even though JP hasn't had a really successful year like Julio numbers-wise, the vibes that they bring are priceless. There's not a better guy to bring up good vibes than, obviously with JP. And I don't know if you really need JP at the top of the order. You can have JP batting 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th. But I'm thinking, if we put JP in the 9 hole, that might be like a little gut punch, for not being the leadoff hitter. But I think that would work better for us. So that way, if we end up starting the inning with a 9 hitter, 1 and 2, it'll go JP, Victor Robles, Randy Arosarena, or whoever. And I think that would work out well. Instead of just putting JP in the leadoff spot, I think I would rather go with the guy that's been playing good to set the tone with Victor Robles being the leadoff hitter. But maybe a 9 spot for JP or a 2 might be the spot for him. Dribbler, Rojas, throw to first. Hey now. And the final score, Seattle Mariners 10, Pittsburgh Pirates 3. The 5-game losing streak ends. I love it, baby. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Let's go. Fuck yeah. Mariner Moose is loving that, baby. Let's go. We needed that. 5-game losing streak ends. Now we just got to keep hoping that Houston ends up dropping some more games. So I appreciate all you guys coming through and hanging out with your boy. Make sure to smash that like button on your way out if you haven't done it just yet. And again, we'll be live tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday night, all at the same time, 7 p.m. Pacific, against the Dodgers in LA in Dodger Stadium. So this was a must-win game. We didn't want to get swept by the Tigers and the Pirates, because if that would have happened and we lost 10-3 today, we probably would get swept by the Dodgers as well. So the bleeding is stopped, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Remember, preseason football is on. We got the Saints and Niners at 5, as well as the Packers and Broncos. And then I'll be live tomorrow again at 7 p.m. Pacific against the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani. Come on, man. Let's go, baby. What a win for the Mariners. Final score, Mariners 10, Pirates 3. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Go Mariners, baby!